Welcome to YellBro. I am Jordan, and today we're gonna watch some Candace Owens. I started recording yesterday, watching her, and she kind of gave me nothing I was looking for, so I just kind of X'd out the video. But today is a new day. Maybe there's something here that's worth looking at. In which case, I'll react to it. If it's just gossipy shit, you will not see this video. Just being upfront about it. But before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, check out the Discord link if you want to join up, talk some shit, whatever. Watch movies, listen to music. Just no grotesqueries. That's it. Not the show, but, actual grotesque shit. Also, if you don't want to hear us talking over the video, pausing the video and talking, whatever, stuff you do on the reaction channel, if you don't want to hear that, please check out the link for the video itself where you can watch it without hearing any of us. Okay? It's kind of simple, guys. Good luck to you, though. All right. All links in the description box. All right. Let's get into it. No reason to stall anything out. Bearing false witness. Who made the Charlie Kirk videos go viral? From Candace Owens. Here we go. Episode 241.
All right, you guys. Happy Tuesday. Sorry we are running a few minutes late. It takes so much time to investigate. We are such a small team, and we're constantly trying to make sure we're giving you guys the most accurate information. And it suddenly occurred to me after last week that I should maybe go back and find all of the original videos that were going viral on social media on 9/10. All the videos pertaining to the assassination, the people that were providing testimony as to what happened. And immediately we started to notice a pattern. We noticed that a lot of the eyewitnesses and the people that were sharing those videos weren't exactly random college students from UVU, but rather people that either had strong ties to the government or to Turning Point USA altogether. So what gives? Also, later on, we're going to discuss Andrew Colvett, the PR agent, close friend of Charlie Kirk, who sat down with Alex Clark to answer questions pertaining to whether or not Charlie Kirk was converting to Catholicism and whether or not he was offered $150 million from Israel. Except I literally do not know who said either of those things, but we'll see how he responded. Anyway, welcome back to Candace.
Oh.
Some of these investigations that are going on, so many people that are sending us emails, and I see a lot of the chatter that's happening. First and foremost, no, Charlie was not wearing an earpiece. He was not wearing an earpiece. I saw some of that earlier footage, and it looked like he was, and I was able to verify that actually what people think is an earpiece that's coming up is actually the necklace that he was wearing. I also want you guys to know that he was not wearing a bulletproof vest. I was able to verify that, and there does seem to be a backstory there. Somebody that had reached out who had been providing vests for Charlie and then no longer was providing vests for him. We're looking into that, but I wanted you to know those two facts.
Okay, so there's videos of people saying, look at his earpiece pop up. That means, the battery or some shit of his, lapel mic shot into his neck somehow. I've seen that idea. I guess that's out, maybe. I don't know. And then, obviously, the vest was already out for most people, but just extra confirmation. Here we go.
All right. Now, jumping into what I wanted to discuss today, we thought we should go back and re-examine all of the witnesses.
Okay,
the people who spoke out to the press in the immediate aftermath of the killing. Obviously, that's what brought us to Caldera Engineering, the man who owned a couple of houses on that block. And we found out that Caldera Engineering, a lot of the employees live on that block. And then, of course, I want to be clear, it doesn't make these people guilty of anything. But I thought it was interesting that I kept seeing this theme that none of these individuals were students of UVU. I guess that's just coincidental. Just to go back, we had already discussed Tiffany Barker and that early morning GMA interview, Good Morning America interview that she did with her nieces. So I'm going to show you that again to jog your memory because we have an update. Take a listen.
We're joined now by Tiffany Barker and her nieces Elle Steele and Mia Grant, who were all in the audience yesterday afternoon. Thank you for joining us this morning. I know it's been a difficult day for all of you right now. And Tiffany, let me begin with you. Just tell us what you remember about the scene yesterday.
It was horrific. There was one shot that rang out,
and
everybody instantly looked around and then fell to the ground. People saw Charlie instantly get shot in the neck, and everybody fell to the ground, and then people started running and got run over. And I was with my family. We had 16 of us there, so 5 adults and
this is that
children.
family.
And we instantly got separated. We're trying to find everybody, and we had amazing good Samaritans that grabbed kids. One took my niece and took her to her apartment. Somebody grabbed these 2 and my daughter and took them over to the tennis courts and stayed with them till I came. It was a super awful tragedy, and there were really good people that stood up and supported each other, and it was actually really powerful to see that.
Elle and Mia, I can't imagine how scared you must have been yesterday. What can you tell us about what you all remember? Elle, you go first.
Why are you having
So I remember hearing this thing. It was hard to know what it was, but then I saw it, and I saw blood everywhere, and it hit his artery, and then I fell to the ground. I covered my head with my hands, and then I just started saying a prayer, and then we all ran. We sprinted away, and we ran away and then we met at the tennis courts, and we couldn't find anyone. It was just me, Mia, and then my other cousin Bella, and then we were calling everyone. We didn't know what to do, and then we finally met up with them, and it was just so scary.
I'm sure. Mia?
Why the fuck? Maybe cops talk to kids, maybe to get their eyewitness, whatever the fuck. But why the fuck is the news doing that? Especially when you sound like the kid is gonna repeat. Sound like she's repeating things she heard other people say. Not like where she went, but oh, he got hit in the artery. That came from someone else, probably. Right? I don't know.
Right. Do you think she knows the word artery on her own?
She could know the word, but would she think to say that in a moment of all these things going on, the chaos of it, right? Oh, I saw him bleeding, and right, she could just be going off of shit she heard after the fact, because it's probably a blur, right? It's probably going 10 million miles an hour. A situation like that, where it's oh fuck, everyone gets down, and you see people running, and you probably follow them running, and then I guess she saw the shot, saw whatever, dropped down, stopped to say a prayer, then got up and ran, and yeah.
So this is on the scene the same night? So they didn't okay.
I guess. Here we go.
This live.
I remember that we were 15 feet away, and I thought the shot was a firecracker or something. It just didn't
feet
seem
away?
real. After that, we went behind where Charlie Kirk was, and then we were meeting up at the tennis courts,
the
and
kids
trying to find everyone,
measure things out that
get
way.
everyone together. And
I didn't.
Charlie Kirk was such a good guy. I'm gonna miss him so much. I've always watched all of his videos, and
I can't imagine what you all went through.
America's gonna miss Charlie Kirk.
Can't imagine what you went through yesterday. Thanks for sharing your stories this morning.
Okay, so to update you and to remind you, I had mentioned that first and foremost, Tiffany Barker is a part of a very political family, a very connected family in the region. The internet sleuths just were on it. Apparently, there's a whole Reddit feed, and they were able to determine that not only is she connected to a big political family that is high up in the LDS church, but she also forgot to mention, and maybe there wasn't time to mention, to be fair, that they knew Charlie, that the daughter had sung at Charlie Kirk's event. event. So it would have been something that I think I would have said, but again, sort of in the chaos, maybe in the next morning while the manhunt is going on, and in this sort of short stint of speaking to Good Morning America, you didn't have time to give those details. Now, many people were curious mainly as to why the children were so descriptive regarding the artery. And Tiffany herself made a response video and addressed that question. And here is what she had to say.
When we get in the car, we're stuck in the parking lot for like an hour and a half.
I'm sorry.
My niece that was sitting right behind me in this car filmed Charlie getting shot. She was filming him speaking, and then she said, Tiff, I have it on video. And I said, give me your phone. I don't want you to watch it. Give me the phone. So I took her phone, and the kids in the car with me, because they were closer down by my sister, had seen it really close up. And they saw how much Charlie bled. And we're all trying to process that. So I have an hour and a half in a car with my nieces and my 2 daughters, and I'm trying to help them through what we just saw. And they said, why did he bleed like that? And I said, there's an artery here. Maybe they hit an artery. I didn't know. We didn't know anything, and we're trying to get information. And then I get one text come in and said, Glenn Beck said he's stable.
Exactly, as it was.
And I told the kids, you guys okay? He's okay. They're taking turns praying for him.
So I connected with her after she made this video, and I wanted to specifically confirm and clarify 2 things. Again, not because I think her or her nieces had anything to do with the assassination, but because they were eyewitnesses. And I first and foremost wanted to know why Good Morning America reached out with them. It didn't seem to me that any of the videos she put out would have inspired a producer to reach out and say, hey, can you be our eyewitness, provide eyewitness testimony to what took place. And she intimated to me that actually it was a political connection. That was the reason it happened. Her sister ran as lieutenant governor alongside Phil Lehman. And actually, Good Morning America reached out to Phil Lehman, and somehow that is how, instead of Phil Lehman or her sister, they ended up with her sister's children and her, because they were at the event. Now, regarding her, obviously you heard her explanation for why they mentioned the artery. I wanted to see if they even recorded that footage of Charlie, or if they were close enough to see that. And my answer to that would be no, on the basis of the footage that she gave me. She has not yet provided any footage that would suggest that her nieces saw that graphic or were able, anything that was that descriptive. I think this might have been just a little bit of like political insertion, so to speak. Either way, I will say that any kids being anywhere where a shot is ringing out is going to be traumatizing to a child. And of course, she is being honest that through discussion, she is the one that kind of gave them the idea regarding the artery. But then I decided.
Okay. I just want to say, this is kind of a side note, but it's like, yo, these motherfuckers indoctrinate their fucking kids, don't they? Like hardcore. Like, yeah, I understand Charlie's act is very clean cut, right? There's like, I Love America music playing and country songs and shit like that. And it's very like no foul language and all that stuff. I understand that. But like the ideas that are being thrown out here are, they're trying to shape kids' minds like pretty blatantly. I'm like, yo, that's fucking criminal. That is some devil worshiping ass shit, bro. You're supposed to let your kids fly free to figure out the world, and you're just a guide to help them out. You're not supposed to tell them exactly what. Think this, do this, right? I'm just saying, like if one of the daughters was listening to AOC or something on their phone, would the mom take the phone away? Like, no, you can't listen to her. Listen to Charlie Kirk instead. I think they would. But then again, that is middle to upper middle America. Seemingly. And it's weird. It's weird behavior. But all right, here we go.
To take a look, or just including this, I was simultaneously taking a look at George Zinn. Obviously, I wanted to track down George Zinn, because where was Decoy Boy sitting? Where exactly was he arrested? And I was able to discover something that I found to be quite odd. George Zinn was arrested in the same area, almost in the exact spot where Charlie's SUV departs. Which to me, if you think somebody is the killer, you probably wouldn't send them in the direction of someone that they just shot. So I wanted to sort of prod that narrative a little bit further. So first, I want you guys, in case you don't understand the layout of this particular, if we're calling it a stadium, that he was sitting, amphitheater, that Charlie was sitting, there is a tent, okay? And we're coming inward here. You can see that kind of half hexagon that's sitting there. Where that dot is where Charlie is sitting. And you can see there's like a bridge walkway. And Charlie has to walk underneath that to get to where his cars are, okay? So in front of him is the audience in that half hexagon. And yep, we're coming inward right there, where you can see the mouse pointing right there is where the SUVs were waiting, the SUV that carried Charlie. So they just went backwards from where the tent was, okay? And that underpass is right here. You can see a clear image of it, and you can actually see now we're in that underpass or sitting, we are kind of where that SUV was, and you can see the back of the tent that Charlie was in. We were able to determine that it was approximately 40 seconds from the time that the shot rang off to when the security brings Charlie into the waiting SUV. So they moved very quickly from shot to getting him into the SUV, obviously trying to save his life. Then approximately just 1 minute and 8 seconds later, George Zinn is brought to that exact same territory. So Charlie departs, and about 1 minute and 8 seconds later, we've got George Zinn, and he is in handcuffs. And when I say 1 minute and 8 seconds, I'm building in extra seconds. I'm trying to be as precise as possible. I am counting and I'm watching everything. But I found it, again, odd that George Zinn is arrested in the exact same area that they just took Charlie. And it's fast, right? And it's especially fast because we then found footage of George Zinn after the shot rings out. And we're going to watch this. He's going to get up, and people are dispersing everywhere. And he kind of calmly gets up and starts making his way down that stadium. You can see that here. We have the light on him, and his pants fall down by themselves.
Oh
my!
You
can see that his pants did not.
What the fuck am I watching? What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
I don't know. But
why did it look like Charlie Chaplin or some shit? The fuck? He's walking. All right, he's an old guy, right? So he probably can't move too good. And he's gingerly walking, but with his hands up and his pants just fall down.
Let me see it again, because I don't really get it.
Look at this fool. He's like wobbling. He's moving really slow, but he's old, so maybe he's got bad knees or something. But his pants fall down. And he falls down the fucking stairs. Kind of going the opposite direction everyone else is going. Which is kind of weird because if the shot came from a certain direction, you'd want to run away from that, right? Not towards it. Right? If there's a guy that shot Charlie from the rooftop, the direction people are running in, right? Aren't they running in that direction? Where the shot came from, allegedly? I don't know. Just like natural instinct. I don't know. But all right, here we go. Here's the George Zinn guy.
His way down that stadium. You can see that
here. He's not running.
We have the light on him.
He's like falling.
And his pants fall down by themselves. You can see that. His pants did not, we were kind of working under the assumption that his pants fell down because, I don't know.
He pulls him back up.
His pants did fall down?
Him, but that's actually incorrect. They just fall down all by themselves. And you can see that a young man comes by to try to assist him. Okay, so has nothing to do with the arrest. Now, to be clear, when we see him sort of making his way down those stairs,
he's going the opposite direction.
We can actually approximate, because we did, like I said, we're counting seconds, that this happens earliest 30 seconds after the shot is fired. Okay, and this clip, that clip that you just watched, is about 20 seconds long. So it's about a full 50 seconds, and we know that George Zinn is still standing right there, okay? So somehow George Zinn needs to get from where you just saw him, where his pants fall, to handcuffs in the SUV zone in about 40 seconds flat. Again, that's very fast. We were able to find the footage of him walking down. He just walks down like you see him. He just is walking down the stairs, and he has his hat in his hand, and he starts waving, and he's going toward the left side of the tent. If you're behind the tent looking forward, like if you have Charlie's view, he is then going to kind of go down, and he walks to the left side of the tent. So I wanted to show you this like second timeline that I put together, because this just lets you know what happens in the immediate aftermath. Charlie, Skylar, I'm not sure if I told you to pull that. Can you see that little timeline that we have?
So how'd she get this?
Yeah,
this
no
is
worries.
a security
I'll give you a couple
camera,
of seconds, but
right?
we have, Charlie gets shot 40 seconds later. Charlie's
know.
brought to the SUV. 10 seconds after that is where George Zinn's pants fall
is she doing
down in
this
the middle
level
of
of
the departing
investigation?
crowd. And then a minute and 15 seconds after that shot rings out, George Zinn is waving his hat near the left side of the tent. And then at the minute 48 second mark, George Zinn
didn't get this
is in handcuffs,
from Twitter,
and he is being pulled
crowdsourced.
near
This is a security
where
camera, right?
I don't know what the fuck it is. I guess
Well,
it's security footage.
Well, if it's a person, they would be calm, steady, cameraed. Okay, well, it's possible, but like, okay, they're not running; they're just focusing on this specific area, like that, not panning or anything. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm just wondering, like, she's just.
Well, someone can have a camera stand, especially if they're in that space, right, where they're further away, and right, they have room to have a stand up possibly and record.
Yeah, it could be from a stand.
I would also assume that security camera, like even the one where the kid's jumping off the roof, right? You'd almost assume like it's 2025. These fools have like dog shit quality cameras. Like they're dog shit. You should be able to like zoom in, crop them in a video editor to zoom in on images, and it's still pretty clear. Right? It shouldn't be like extra like super duper blurry. But everything we've seen so far is like fucking blurry looking.
Could it be because of like how much they're zoomed in? I'm not sure, like, if that's the reason, but
I mean, yes, that could definitely cause a decent amount of blur and shit with any type of video footage. But like, if they're fucking, whatever 4K fucking video, like, even if you zoom in, you're still gonna get more of a shape and an outline of objects and shit like that than this blurry ass shit we keep getting. I don't know. I almost feel like they're not even there for like. Well, I guess the parking lot one was for the parking lot. It wasn't for like, the rooftop and shit like that. But I don't know. Stairwell images of him coming up and down the stairwell, right? The shooter. How come they were so like they weren't clean looking? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Like, is he getting actually better information than detectives, or what's going on?
Either she is, or the FBI has a mole, and they're ahead of her, and some mole is sending her shit, or some leak is giving her. It could be. But all right, let's just keep going. I'm wrecked.
Charlie's SUV has just departed. It's very quick. Okay. All of this takes place in under 2 minutes. Not the vibe that I got, obviously, when you are behind your cell phone and you're getting all of these updates and you're trying to follow all the X accounts to see who has the newest information. I certainly was not under the impression that all took place in just 2 minutes. So then that photo starts circulating online. You know which photo I'm talking about. It's George Zinn, and he's bent down and he is in handcuffs, and that goes viral. And so I wanted to get to the bottom of that. Who actually shared that photo of George Zinn in handcuffs? And I was able to determine that was somebody who lived in Utah who advertises with Turning Point USA. And when he did some press about it, he didn't mention that connection to Turning Point USA, but he for sure advertises with them, or has advertised in the past. Again, things are moving unbelievably quickly, and I have now watched that footage from many angles. And there's another thing that happens in the immediate aftermath that stands out to me. There is what I assume must be a donor, a sponsor of some description, or an employee of a donor / sponsor. And he tries to get close to Charlie after the shots are fired, but not in like a rescue way. There was already like a team of men that fly in. And then he gets there, and I'm not sure what the intention is. I don't know if it's just like, obviously you're shocked. Maybe you're trying to be helpful. Who knows? The security guard just kind of shoos him away immediately. And then what the guy does is he sort of just stands up and he takes out, like, walks to the side and takes out his cell phone. So I'm going to show you that. He's right there in the blue shirt. And like sends a text as I'm watching the footage. It goes on a little bit longer, like sends a text, takes a photo. Not entirely clear what's being done there, but it just sort of stood out to me, like in the middle of the chaos, seeing that. And I would really like to know who that is.
We just saw that guy. Jesse, we just saw this guy. Am I tripping?
What?
Remember the fucking insurance for college loans? Remember that guy? Look at the logo on the shirt. What was it called? Fry or some shit like that? The Michael Knowles joint. Remember, remember the TPUSA event, right, with Michael Knowles?
Yeah, I just saw that.
And there's a guy who does like a speech in the beginning about, how much, you need to get your student loans. Yeah, Charlie died. It's sad, but you know what? Student loans, come, go to my website to refinance your loans through me or some shit like that, right?
Same guy? Okay.
I don't know if it's the same guy, but I see that logo, and I remember the build of that guy at the.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! By the way, the hot chick that was singing, where I'm like, yo, she got a really good voice. Apparently, that's Kash Patel's girlfriend or wife or something.
Oh, okay.
Apparently,
He's married. That would be the wife.
What's that?
He's married. That would be the wife.
I guess his wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kash Patel gets a chick that hot who can sing like that. I don't believe it.
Oh, he's. People are saying a lot about that.
It's not even about looks. It's about he's a dweeb, bro. This dude got no swag. He's got no swag. He's dweeby. He's a little fucking. I think
they're saying she's like Israeli, like spy or some shit. The usual gossip.
I don't know about that, but he's definitely a dweeby motherfucker.
That's the type of stuff that's coming out. But it's just regular gossip. Just they're saying how the hell.
Patriot Mobile.
This fucking guy. See the logo there? Refry or some shit like that? What the fuck is that? Refry?
Oh.
This guy who's like selling insurance advice. Right? Nah, it might not be. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's wearing the shirt, though.
Like it's the same. Yeah.
He's wearing the shirt, though.
Oh, and she's saying the donor, which is meant as the sponsor. Yeah.
I mean, based on what there's a good chance he's at the event to sell fucking his business, right? But like on college camp, that is his fucking.
Meaning he was there, and we just saw him, like he's in some way very affiliated with the.
Bro, if you type out shit and take a picture like that, and you're like a friend, that's crazy. That's crazy looking.
We can't. I don't know what he's doing though, right? Like. He might be trying to pull up an app like camera.
Yeah.
And he's just fumbling.
I never just say this guy did that. I'm saying if that's the case, that looks fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And why aren't there fucking ambulances there? Like it's an event where someone can get hurt and you guys could be liable for something. You have to have an ambulance like right on site, right? In case someone gets hurt or a fight breaks out or whatever the fuck. You need cops, you need ambulance on site with events like this. So it's just that to me was just bizarre, but that could just be like, oh, it's Utah, nothing's gonna happen, so no one's like worried about it. But I would figure like even the school themselves would demand like, have ambulance on standby in case fight breaks out. Like, because they're debating stuff too. There's people that are on the quote unquote left there to debate with Charlie Kirk as well. It's just weird. But all right. Here we go. By the way, Dubster, I think you just missed it. Remember this guy? From the Michael Knowles? This guy right here.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
From the video we watched last night?
Yeah, the Michael Knowles speech, and this guy came up and gave advice about student loan debt and all that shit, right?
Refinance company?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, YRFB. Oh, okay, refinance.
Yeah. So let's look at this. Okay. I was like, is that guy? Because I saw the logo and I saw his build. I'm like, is that guy? Here we go.
He does is he sort of just stands up and he takes out, like, walks to the side and takes out a cell phone. So I'm going to show you that.
That's the logo.
He's right there in the blue shirt. And, like, he sends a text. As I'm watching the footage, it goes on a little bit longer, like sends a text, takes a photo. Not entirely clear what's being done there, but it just sort of stood out to me, like in the middle of the chaos, seeing that. And I would really like to know who that is, because we had received a ton of messages from current employees at Turning Point that had mentioned that company. He's wearing a shirt that says WireFi. And according to the sources at Turning Point, it was a rather young company, meaning that the company hasn't been around for very long, that came out in a really big way in terms of sponsorship for this tour. And that's common sense, given the fact that WireFi...
It looks weird in the sense of if you really cared and had concern for what's going on in the situation, you wouldn't be doing that. But if you're like, holy fuck, Charlie just got shot, bro, let me tell my bud, let me tell my friend, let me tell my boss, whatever. You might be in that mode, which is creepy in its own way, but not necessarily he's a part of some sort of conspiracy, right? But all right, here we go.
We'll notice in the clips of the event is the backdrop advertiser that's behind Charlie. So maybe this person came because it's his first event of the season and they are the major sponsors. Like I said, judging by the placement and the fact that a WireFi donor or employee is there, we can draw the conclusion that they sponsored this very event. And I'm interested in knowing who that is. So if you've got any answers for that, please let me know, because I would like to see
Candace
what
might be the guy
he took a picture of and to get his perspective.
I don't like that she's saying the name wrong.
I'd like to identify who that individual
throws people off.
I then decided to try to track down the origin of a video that actually no press has been done on.
But
it was
the name of his company is YRFI, implying like digital, and the question why refi.
She should have put.
There's a purpose to that.
You can see the logo, but she should have put it on. She should have written the letters on screen of YREFY. Right? She should have did that, but you can see why she read it the way she read it. Maybe not knowing exactly what they do for a living, and you just reading it, I guess.
Right, she's mistaken here. I'm not like mad that she's mistaken. I'm just like that. It's like you would know exactly who this guy was if you just knew the fucking name of the company.
Yeah, they should have put the letters on screen or zoomed in on the logo on his shirt, one or the other. Right?
And this dude, it will. You know what refinancing does? It robs grandmas of their houses. This dude's cold-blooded.
I mean, neither here nor there. Here we go.
Assumed it was a student, and I think, we shouldn't make assumptions, who recorded the shooter on the roof. Remember? That started going viral. You remember the footage, and they're like, and there's a guy that's kind of speaking in the background. We can show you that footage right now. Let's take a look at that footage that we're referring to.
Get right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that.
Okay.
So there's somebody on the roof right there?
I saw this video.
He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in, and now he's right there.
Now he's laying down.
Just saying.
Okay.
That was before
the shot, right?
So this
footage proved very difficult to track down. And what I mean by that is it was very simple for me to find the account that published the video and made the video viral. And when I reached out to that individual, they were immediately responsive. And I said, hey, where'd you get this footage from? And the individual said to me, a friend of a friend's like family member sent it. So I'm like, okay, you're telling me the chain is already twice removed. I said, do you know who took the video? And he said, no, I don't know who took the video. And when I asked the person who sent it to me to tell me who did, because I have all of these journalists, including yourself, reaching out to me, trying to get to the bottom of it, he just stopped answering me. I said, so your friend who sent you this video just stops answering you? And he then sends me a screenshot of a conversation that they're having on an app that I don't recognize, right? So we are prodding that, and he has been responsive, so I'm sure he'll tell me what app this is. And sure enough, the person says, well, there were two people actually who took that footage, which obviously isn't possible, but there are two people that were involved in taking that footage, and he sends him two numbers. And those two numbers were both Chicago-based. And when I looked up who, whose numbers those were, it looked to me like that was just kind of leading to nowhere. Like, why are these two Chicago-based numbers? It was very weird and very sketchy. So then I have a guy who's on the ground in Utah, and I asked him, a student, to start looking around, fishing around, and seeing if he could figure out who took that photo. Again, operating under the assumption that this must have been a student that was walking by Pelosi Center. And he comes back and he says, I have a number of an individual. This is allegedly the person who took the footage. And I said, do you know that person? Is this a UVU student? He said, no. And I said, well, where did you get this number from? And he says, well, on the day, there was a guy named Aaron who was walking around and was checking on people. And Aaron is the one that gave me this number. I don't know Aaron even, but like, he's the person that gave it to me. So then I said, can I have Aaron's number? He gives me Aaron's number, and Aaron also has a Chicago number. So I'm getting from somebody on the ground, and I'm getting from this person on Twitter that all of these Chicago numbers are involved, and that's not making sense to me. And I then tried to text that number of the person who allegedly shot the footage. We didn't get a response until today. We finally got a response from that person. I hop on the phone with him. He explains that it wasn't just him. It was one other person who he was walking with, who saw this person run across. Neither of them are students of UVU. One of them said he was a student at BYU, which is Brigham Young University. And he's like, well, I didn't take the footage, but my friend took the footage. And his friend does not have a Chicago-based number. So I am confused. And we ask if he'd be willing to send us the footage and to get us on the phone with the person who actually took the footage. I had a conversation with that individual after all this running around, hence the reason these episodes take so long to put together, because you're calling people, you're waiting for responses.
She's doing everything.
What he said to me completely betrays the narrative of what the FBI has put out. I am working to quadruple confirm exactly who this individual is, but he was a very much, and maybe this is a poor way of saying it, a straight shooter. Said, yes, I have a training. And I don't want to give too many identifying details here, but this person himself has a lot of experience with guns and knows guns and, helps to train people in that sort of a capacity, and said that they observed that individual, the FBI saying that the shooter dropped onto the roof at 12:15 didn't make sense to him. He said earliest it was 12:22 that the individual ran across, set up, took the shot. And I said, well, you must have been there, because he then sends me I wanted to see all of the metadata of when he took that footage. And the metadata begins at 12:22 and goes into 12:23, the very minute that Charlie gets shot. And he says, yeah, I saw the shot. I had just stopped recording about 20 seconds before the shot rang out. And he said that he told them a description of what the shooter looked like. And it was not the description that the entire world received less than 24 hours later of this person, Tyler Robinson, wearing jeans. I said, was he wearing jeans? He said, no. Actually, this person was dressed in tactical gear and he was wearing a face mask. And he said, according to him, like I said, he has a lot of experience with guns, that this person looked to him like a foreign agent. I don't know if he's wearing all black, how he got that, but he said there's no he was very certain that this person was skilled, knew exactly what he was doing, and was highly trained, like a highly trained assassin, so to speak. Okay.
I remember the initial statements from the FBI and the governor of Utah. They were saying they saw a dude in black pants, and then I guess he switched to blue jeans after or something like that. And then it switched to like he had blue jeans on before, changed clothes again or something like that. It's like a weird, convoluted fucking story. I remember them at one instance saying black pants, and then the next couple sentences he says blue pants, like blue jeans, and it's just like, where's like with your own statements, your prepared statements? How are you that inconsistent with just your words alone like that? So I don't know. Let's keep playing. Here we go.
He then says something else. As soon as George Zinn got arrested and that started circulating, he ran to someone on campus and said, "This is the wrong person. I observed this person with my eyes. You have the complete wrong description. The person you're looking for is wearing tactical gear and is obviously young because I watched him sprint back after taking the shot. I saw this with my own two eyes. And for whatever reason, that never made its way out that we can see of a description of a person wearing tactical gear. We're kind of left with this idea that he was wearing the now infamous veterans shirt with the American flag on it and some jeans. So he also said something that we had not heard, which is that he knows guns, and the gun that the FBI found was not the gun that he saw, that the gun that he saw was smaller. And I'm going to read you directly a text message that he sent me, again, protecting his identity. He said, "Watching the video of the impact, hearing the sharp crack instead of a big hunting rifle's boom, and seeing what looked like a shorter rifle platform, albeit with the absence of the shape of a standard 30-round magazine, the assassin may have used a 10 or 20-round magazine, only expecting to shoot once or twice. I would guess that he was shot with a Hornady V Max or similar lightweight 223 bullet designed for very rapid expansion. Of course, I don't have access to any autopsy reports like you might, but if they found small shards of copper rather than one large copper-coated lead slug, that's the gun and bullet I would expect was used." So I wanted to share that because I know that a part of this entire thing was our upset at kind of being taken for a ride by the FBI. It makes no sense to me that they wouldn't share those details immediately while this manhunt was taking place. We got every other name and basically every other description, and we're told nothing like what this person who says that he was an eyewitness, he was the eyewitness to this, and that he went right in and said all this information. Why wouldn't you share the eyewitness report that you received that completely counters the narrative? And I would say, again, assuming this guy's story checks out, and it seems to me that it did, and he sent us the
because it's a narrative.
He was the person who took that video. It doesn't make sense to me. It literally makes no sense to me that they would obfuscate.
You answered your own question.
When they're speaking to the public. So yeah, like I said, we are exploring every lead here, and I just found that to be quite stunning. I don't know what to make of all of this. I guess what we make every single episode is the fact that they're just lying to us about everything.
I don't agree
literally
with her.
Everything.
How's that?
So
okay, hit pause.
This is really interesting information about the eyewitness. But I don't agree. So what I've seen from, at least from Cash Patel, when he answered things, he only answered, like, he tried to, like, almost rebut everything that was brought up, right, from the public. But he didn't actually provide he didn't volunteer one piece of information, like, of himself. It didn't seem to me like he wanted to share anything other than, like, so I don't agree in the sense that they're showing all this information. Why didn't they show this? I don't think they're showing us, like, any information from that side of it. I think they wanted, maybe, I don't know why, maybe during the investigation still going, or whatever. But there's like the information we have is from people, with their video cameras, with their their own things. Like I
No, we
am
have
kind of
officially
surprised.
released stuff, don't we? You have the text messages. You have the image of the gun. You have the images of the shooter, I guess, in that hallway. We have the video footage of him jumping off the roof. Right? Those are provided by the government and FBI and all that shit, right? The cops. That was from the internet.
Yeah.
It's just the way they were like, if you're gonna release this, give us the real clear picture here. Don't give us half shit or paraphrased text messages or whatever the fuck they call it. Like, don't do that. In fact, they should have.
Yeah.
Probably better
The
likely.
text message
I guess the
bad.
gun helped lead to the guy, right? Because I believe the dad recognized the gun and recognized the pictures of the guy, of the kid, right? But
That's Grandpa's gun.
Yeah, I think he told his kid, "Yo," he told his Tyler Robinson. He told him, "Hey, show me a picture of the gun, of Grandpa's gun, to prove that you have it with you. And it's not like caught in the woods by the cops."
Grandpa's calling me. I haven't answered. He wants his gun back.
Yeah, for me, it didn't even seem like he's been the shooter, and all of this prolonging, like the first guy, the decoy. Remember, this is the first thing I called him. He's like a decoy because he's like they caught him right away, but I'm like, well, why did they even catch him in the first place? Like, did he have a rifle on him? Like, I guess not. So like, why did they catch him, or why did they think did he have another weapon? Obviously, different caliber. Like,
it could have been him
I wasn't
screaming
sure.
shit. Could have been him screaming shit, right?
And then he ended up saying that he was trying to decoy. Okay, that was him. Now we have the guy on the roof, or this guy with his gun and his text messages, and he was turned in, not himself, right? He was turned in with a reward, and that made me think, well, and he's not speaking, he's not saying anything. I'm like, it makes sense not to say something if you're not the shooter. Like, okay, you would think I'm gonna say something because I'm not the shooter, but if in some way you're supporting, like the first decoy, being a second decoy, you're not going to be found guilty if you have proof, like later on, that you reveal. You're basically buying the actual shooter time, and that made sense to me, except for the text messages. So, like, there's no reason why you should have those text messages, right? So that part,
and the Discord message of, "Hey guys, I was the one who did it. I'm sorry."
Yeah, that made me think, like, okay, this is.
We haven't heard any voices saying it, right? Like an actual, like his voice saying, "I did this shit" or whatever the fuck, right? We don't have that. Right. Messages, text messages. But like, I don't know. It's been foiled.
It makes it very messy.
It's been fucked. The whole thing's been fucked.
More people involved.
Yeah. Without timestamps on those text messages.
Yeah. And I just think the way they've handled their public use or public explanation of the investigation, they fucked it up from the very beginning. They fucked it up, in my humble opinion. Let's continue. Here we go.
Or did it well.
Depending on the motives. Depending on the motives.
Yeah. Point of view.
All right, let's continue with Candace. Here we go.
Anyways, you guys, I want to get to some of the responses and answers that were given by Andrew Colvett, who is the PR agent for Turning Point USA. He sat down with Alex Clark and addressed some of the things that have been going viral, particularly as it pertains to taking down the footage in the minutes following the shooting, having somebody on their team take down that footage. You might be curious as to what he had to say. First, I want to throw to some of our sponsors. Preborn. I've watched too many people who I'm close to be vilified for standing up for truth. or all right. So Andrew Colvett, obviously, he's been a topic of discussion. He did the Charlie show with him, and so he sat next to Charlie throughout all of that. They were very close. He's also the PR agent for Turning Point USA, and he's also the one that issued the statement, therefore, about what is now being termed the other magic bullet, and magic bullet being the first one, JFK. It kind of seems like when the government might be involved,
from Lee,
bullets
Oswald,
tend to have
Harvey.
magical properties. Anyways, I've said yesterday, his job is pretty tough, and it's made even tougher by the fact that if he's told to say something, he has to say it. That's just how it works in PR. And I'm sure there are lawyers involved as well.
Man the fuck up.
He went on to the Alex Clark podcast. Now, it was kind of billed. I think people were expecting, but actually Alex Clark never did say that.
Would never associate
that Erica
this
Kirk
with
was going to be the one to answer questions
but they want
pertaining to Charlie and to clear up some rumors about his personal life. She teased that, that you were going to get unfiltered answers to burning questions like, quote, was Charlie converting to Catholicism? Again, I have no idea who said he was converting to Catholicism.
I saw that on the internet.
It's like intentionally misrepresenting what was said. Also, she was going to answer, did he take $150 million from Israel? Again, not something that we said on this show. And again, like I told you, they're going to address the SD cards. Now, I was very clear, and I am still kind of shocked by the reaction from the evangelical community. It was totally it didn't make any sense to me. A, because Erica's a cradle Catholic. I said Charlie was attending the mass because he was. I said Charlie was praying the rosary because he was. And I said that as a Catholic, of course, I was egging him to take the next step. Who wouldn't? Of course you want, whatever your faith is, if you're evangelical and someone's thinking about converting, you're going to want to egg them on. That totally makes sense. And it wasn't said in an evil capacity. I said the joke that I said to Charlie, take the next step. You're too smart to be a Protestant. That's a descriptor of our relationship. We were like brother and sister. It's said in humor and in jest. Hey guys, I was Protestant like 5 minutes ago. So I felt like people were looking for reasons to be offended and wanted somebody to come out and slap that down and say, no, he wasn't attending the mass, and, kind of caging this like it was a war for Charlie. It's like, no, he never took the first step in converting, but I think going to the mass and praying the rosary, obviously it's going to get Catholics excited. Anyways, let's start with that. Andrew's response to the Catholic question. Take a listen.
Was he becoming Catholic?
No, but he really loved Catholic mass. He loved the ritual of it. He loved the beauty of old Catholic churches and the stained glass.
And him and Erica would go sometimes.
Yeah, well, Erica's a cradle Catholic, but she ended up kind of like me. I grew up Catholic and First Communion and went to Catholic high school, but then I ended up becoming a Christian in college through a Protestant church, through a non-denominational kind of more
Catholics are
experience.
Christian.
It was actually a Presbyterian, and then it was kind of non-denominational. And I think Erica kind of follows that same path. She and I share that.
Also, by the way, I just want to draw attention to, she's posted a photo of her and Charlie and the kids in mass before, and somebody in the comment section said, oh, are you guys converting? And she said, no, we just like attending sometimes. So she herself had said no.
Yeah, and I think Charlie, one of the things, Charlie
is better.
really hated worshiping in like a gym.
My version of all
or some sort of kind of blank space that they just turn into
Christian.
I don't, there's no problem.
That's also my internal when I hear that.
The act of that,
he
tries to separate it. And he loved, again, the ritual, the ancient
There's a war on Catholics, that's why.
feel of a Catholic mass.
So I recommend you join
around
the
the world
church to fix all that.
Worshiping as Catholic.
My version
he loved that. So he had some really big theological hangups with that. You can go check the videos out, him debating with Michael Knowles, in good fun. I mean, they were dear friends, but they loved kind of debating the whole Protestant versus Catholic thing.
I don't understand why.
So I didn't lie about anything. And yeah, he was attending mass. And so usually
are we doing a segment
if
about
you are ritualistically attending
joining?
Mass, meaning he liked the ritual of it, I'm not sure what that means. Like, are
you recording?
I don't understand what we're doing. It just feels weird. And to say he converted to Christian, Catholics are Christian. So, he said, like, I think Andrew said, I converted to Christianity. I went from being a cradle Catholic, and there was no question that Erica and Charlie were attending the mass, and that's what I said. And I said that he was praying the rosary, and there's no dispute there. I never said he started converting to Catholicism, I said that the Catholics were kind of thinking, take the next step, Charlie, take the next step. And I don't think it was just architectural for him.
Teams.
Far be it from me.
Why is this important
to
I don't know.
speak on behalf
possible motive, or
whether he was just attending because he liked the architecture. I think it was a little deeper than that. And I agree that he did have some hangups, but that's kind of when you make that thing of like, he didn't really like having church in a gym. That's a step, right? So for me, that was a step where I was going, okay, like I want something that feels a little bit deeper. It's a journey. Nobody was trying to start a Catholic versus Protestant war. I just shared something about, my final conversations with him. And a lot of the conversations were about faith towards the end. Yeah, that's it. Not a big deal. Anyways, then they get to the second portion of something that I didn't say. Nobody said the number 150 million, or I didn't say the number, Tucker didn't. I don't know where the 150 million number came from. If I'm being honest, I said 150 million was what Bibi spent on Operation Mocking Pastor. Now, the way they're going to answer this question about whether or not Charlie was offered money, right? Israeli money, is interesting. Take a listen.
No.
Was Charlie offered $150 million from Israel?
As far as I know, no.
I had never heard anything like that. Everyone I've asked has said the same thing.
And by the way, just for what it's worth, it doesn't matter the amount that would have been coming down. We would have said no.
And there's evidence that is true.
Turning Point does not, Charlie would not accept foreign money.
Exactly.
We only took American money.
Yep.
There was money sent to us, like practically in multiple instances.
It was in
trying to cram it down our bank account.
Was in dollars.
And we said no. We canceled like money wires and things.
No foreign money, and also no handouts from the government. During the pandemic, 100%. He refused to do mass layoffs like everybody else in the country was doing. Said no to the whatever that check was. What was that they were handing out? Stimulus check.
Yeah. The PPE loans, right? I always get PPP
What's going on, guys?
mixed up, but
yeah, but it was a good amount of money that at the time was refused.
Yeah,
he put out a company statement saying, this was tempting for sure, but we're going to say no.
Yeah,
I mean, he was very principled in that way.
He was extremely principled, especially on foreign money. I remember moments we'd be at like an event, and some foreign people would come up and like demand a meeting or try and get a meeting with Charlie, and Charlie would look at me and go, deal with them, get rid of them. Like, just, I don't want to talk to them.
Okay.
I'm going with that's Charlie's gay lover.
There is this thing called FARA. And every country, if they're going to influence people, if you're Qatar, if you're Iran, and you want to lobby on behalf of those countries, you have to be registered under FARA, so we know where that money is going into. Right. If you have, literally stands for foreign agents registering, right? If you have foreign agents in America that are working on your behalf, we would be able to see that. But there's this magic carve out for Israel, right? So when you say, like, was he going to take Israeli money? It's kind of a working around it, right? Do I think that in the Turning Point accounts, it would have said Bibi Netanyahu wrote, wants
like
this money to go to? Probably not. Do I Bibi Netanyahu?
Yahoo. I love the fucking closed caption for that. But yeah, she's right. You wouldn't you would never do that anyway. Even if he was going to take the money, you wouldn't do it directly. You'd hand it off to a company that hands it off to a company that hands it off to you. Like, obviously. I'm sure Charlie took plenty of money like that.
Huh? The check would say, from the Jesus Killers.
Okay. I would assume it would work more like the what's it called? The chorus, right? With the 1630 group, that's these random anonymous billionaires funding chorus that's giving money to content creators. The whole Wired article thing. What's her name again? I forgot her name. The random hot chick that exposed all this, I guess. Whatever. She, it wouldn't just, you're not going to just hand off money. It's like, oh, hey guys, I'm George Soros. Here's some money. It wouldn't work that way, like, ever. And I'm sure.
Go through a laundromat?
Exactly. It'd go through PR laundromat. All right. Like, they're allowed to give money, but they have to, like, hide their names. Like the Koch brothers and all this, like, for years and years, they've all been doing that. And Charlie's probably taken, if I had to guess, plenty of money that is that we would call dirty, but I'm sure he would just call politics. Oh, whatever. Right? Sometimes you gotta, take off the Christian values and put on the American values. Get that fucking check, bruh. Get that money. Because that's what Jesus wanted. Here we go.
Who wants this money to go to, probably not. Do I know for a fact that there are foreign agents working on behalf of Israel that gave money to Turning Point? Yes, they do. The question is whether it's Bill Ackman, whether it's Bob Shillman, whether it's a ton of the donors who write big checks and are pressuring him to say stuff. Was a large sum of money offered to Charlie Kirk to take Turning Point to the next level? Not that it wasn't a very high level, to the next level, with the guarantee that he would represent their current perspectives and the things that were going on. And did Charlie Kirk refuse that?
Charlie was already doing that, Candace. We don't even need fucking special investigators for that one. You just watch his content. He was already doing that. I watched him when he got stuck in arguments. He'd say, well, Jesus and God would want us to support Israel. He'd want us to. Well, what about the dead babies would he want us to support that? How about that, Charlie? He'd pivot back to, well, God wants us to support Israel. So, either he was doing that for free or he knew the game. He probably knew the game. Let's just be honest. I understand the recent sainthood of Charlie Kirk, but I don't smell a saint there. I smell a weaselly little fuck, just like the rest of these motherfuckers move around. Just being honest. And we'll take the fucking money. Maybe something could maybe he's seeing Candace and what she's doing, and Tucker Carlson, and even Nick Fuentes and what they're doing, Dave Smith. Yeah, damn, these guys are winning the audience. They're winning the future because they're criticizing Israel. Maybe he saw that as damn, this is the direction we need to move in. Maybe he saw a business oh fuck, in order to maintain our staple as a significant force on college campuses and in high schools, by the way. Oh, we need, to get ahead of this fucking story because I'm telling you right now, I think it's obvious. Charlie's a dumb fuck. But even he probably could say, oh shit, people are seeing what's going on over there and they're not going to stand for it. It's not going to be when Trump bomb Somalia and no one cares or knows about it. It's going to be front page fucking news of the massacring that's happening in real time. I think they're bombing the flotilla things. I think they're blowing up the sails on their boats so they can't reach Gaza with food and medical supplies. You tell me what type of cunts do that shit. Now when you see cunts do shit like that, how are you going to look PR-wise standing next to him say, yo, these are the good guys. These are the good guys right here. Good fucking luck. That's not going to work out for you. And that's once again, typically people don't work with nuance. So they're not going to see all the nuance of the situation. They're going to see shit like that, headlines like that. And they'll be like, how can we support this? Well, God said support them. It's not going to fly too much longer. And I think he knew that. And in fact, I think he was doing work to help those guys out. The more is in favor of Israel neocon style people. He's trying to help them out by saying yo guys, this shit ain't going to fly. Maybe a president that no one has access to. And he just looks like a bumbling, it just does his thing, right? Some fucking bumbling idiot. But me, where I'm on the ground and have to talk to these kids, they're going to fucking beat the shit out of me with arguments. And it's just going to collapse my business anyways. Or maybe my purpose. I don't know. To bring people into the Republican Party and become more conservative. Yada, yada, yada. Whatever. I want to hear about the SD cards, bro. Personally. What is, I guess, the Andrew Kolvat whatever the fuck his name, old Andrew Colvett. Maybe he's gonna say something about the SD cards or the memory cards from the cameras that captured, like, let's be real, super HD video of all of it. But apparently they have it, or did they hand it over to the cops? I wonder what the answer is. Here we go.
Maintain what I said, that happened.
It's again, join the YellBro church if you want to.
I hope that makes sense.
Really get
I do want to add on to that I do have concerns, and maybe concerns is not the right word. I have rather hopes that Erica, who is taking on this huge step of being the chairman and the CEO, that she has someone in her corner that she really trusts. And what I mean is that I am not equipped to be the CEO of my little tiny company, okay? And I've realized that how much it involves to understand accounting, to understand how people can create LLCs, a spinoff of LLCs, how money can be hidden and pushed into different directions and into vehicles that you don't understand, takes a person that is sort of trained to have that business mind. I am grateful that my husband has that business mind. I just don't actually even care to have that business mind more than anything else. Not that I couldn't learn it, but I know with a company at that size, Erica is going to really need to have someone
just say
who
she's
is
hiding money.
very much in her corner. It breaks my heart that she doesn't have Charlie. Charlie would be exactly the kind of person. Like it's the beauty of a partnership, and they had a beautiful partnership. But I worry. I really do worry, and I just wanted to express that openly to you guys. I'm concerned about that for some reason, and I guess the best thing to do is just ask everybody to pray for Erica. Pray that she has the clarity to understand and have people around her who are being honest with her, because I would not want to be in her position right now. I would not want to be in her position.
I pray she changes what TPUSA does.
Where there is money, money naturally breeds snakes in the garden, and it's very difficult to keep the grass cut low when the yard is that expansive, so to speak.
Jordan.
Anyways, they then address the SD cards. And here is what Andrew had to say about the Turning Point affiliate employee.
Watching the newest episode of the saga of Candace Owens and the Charlie Kirk files, and we're about to see, I guess, the most important part, to me at least, is the SD cards and the cameras that were had HD footage of everything, right? Because people are questioning where the bullet came from and all that stuff, and what type of caliber was it, and exit wounds and entry wounds and all this shit. And those cameras probably have the answer on them. Let's be honest, right? And they're not blurry, fucking 240p, wherever the fuck, shitty imagery, right? It with 20 frames in it, right? It's probably high def, 60 frames, whatever.
One camera's 4 feet away from him in the front, and one camera is probably 8 feet away from him in the back.
Yeah,
if those are high def, if those are high def cameras, you would have to actively try to fuck with them if you want pixels the size of Legos.
So if people ask for them.
No, I don't know what's about to be said. Apparently, the Andrew Colvett, the PR guy for TPUSA, is gonna make a remark about that. Candace she said she saw the image, the footage of behind Charlie, and said there was no blood, no exit wound, no nothing there. So
I remember seeing something or other about somebody saying that they think they saw hand signals coming from some of the people near Charlie.
Yes, that has been talked about. In fact, Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, mentioned that, almost like he was mentioning all the conspiracy theories or any theories he saw on the internet, instead of being the head of the fucking FBI. You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird, placating to the audience type of thing. It's like, what are you doing, you idiots?
Well, that's how him and Dan Bongino behave. They're too busy running their fucking mouths on the internet to do their jobs.
She had new stuff here today about the footage, and she tracked down the person who videoed it, and they said it was a whole different person, different outfit, even like the identification of the weapon,
tactical gear, and
so you
this
hear
guy
it first.
apparently was a shooting expert, right, or something like that. That took that footage. And I saw that footage, by the way. And he was like just very casual. Yo, look at this dude. He just ran from over there to over there, and now he's laying down.
Yeah, you're saying it's fast.
Now, I'm saying, like, I would have initially been like, yo, why don't you fucking call the cops? There's some guy laying down on the roof. Like, that it's just bizarre the way he's moving around. Why not call the police or whatever the fuck or security? But apparently it all happened in like a minute span. So, like, I'm not mad at the guy for that. If he's just like, holy fuck, it just happened so fast where you're not even like almost like you want to like double take and look a little bit harder to make sure you're not just getting someone in trouble for no reason.
Well, if shit's moving that quickly, it can be hard to be sure of exactly what you're seeing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But you would, I mean, maybe the guy took his camera off the dude. I don't know.
As far as the rifle round itself goes, I think it's been confirmed by now that was a 7.62 by 39, which doesn't really narrow anything down because that's a very common rifle cartridge. You could get that almost anywhere.
People
Any hunting supply shop will probably have those.
People don't know exactly the caliber.
What was actually shot into him, though, right? Like, not.
Yeah, they have the bullet.
Not.
Right.
Right, but we need to know the caliber of the bullet, right? They showed us the other things he had on him, but like I think it's important. So like, if to confirm more of a link.
Yeah. They have the bullet, but they don't have. I don't know. I don't know if they have the casing.
Well,
now they're saying they found like 3 casings laying around, but
they haven't shown that either. By the way,
yeah, there's so much other shit here that doesn't add up. That I can't take anybody at their fucking word on any of this at all.
Me neither, honestly.
Well, I think there's a correction that we have to make though, because I heard YellBro's the other day saying that the FBI is learning from Candace. Watching Candace's show
they're watching
for
and taking notes, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's a good one. Fuck Candace. Candace is fucking good, bro."
Write that down, Dan. Write that down.
Yeah, based on what we're seeing on her show, I mean, it does look like she does get the information first, but the FBI doesn't want to be lied to, so I think they're watching YellBro to see like what's really going on.
Oh, good God! But like,
what a world that would be.
Got noises, Josh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fucking the Andrew Colvin guy, right? Now he said the surgeon or coroner. We don't even know. Like in one part he says surgeon, another part he says coroner. We don't know exactly. Is this guy officially the medical examiner? We have no fucking clue, right? But he initially says, okay, he finds the bullet underneath the skin, but he doesn't say fragments. He says they found the bullet, like the bullet. Then Alex Jones comes out the next day and says, "Oh no, it's burst into a bunch of different pieces. It's all over the place." Right? And they found fragments somewhere underneath the skin. And it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, where?
I'm not sure
the
either
FBI
of those,
hasn't found that.
I'm not sure either of those things happened because that was a rifle grade round. So,
but we don't know if that's the case. Like, it might not be, but then that would fuck the whole FBI shit up.
Like my theory is that bullet is still stuck in the ground somewhere because that is a rifle round and it went only through soft tissue.
But according to Candace, if it came from the rooftop, right, and went through his neck and out the other side, she would have saw it according to her idea, which is this TPUSA cameras, right? She said she saw, or the guy who took the SD cards showed her the camera from behind Charlie Kirk, and she said there was no blood, there was no gore, or no exit wound, nothing there. So like, unless Candace is lying, it wouldn't make sense, right? So like, this story is all fucked up all over the fucking place. I'm right.
I do think it makes sense that you wouldn't see blood if he gets shot from behind, because it's from the entry wound. It's going in the opposite direction. So I do think you just might not notice the hole. I don't know how.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Jesse, either way, like, let's say that's the case. Let's say he got shot from behind. The police's whole narrative is that the guy's on the roof. The narrative of the guy that Candace just talked about is that there's a guy on the roof. and he shot from the roof to Charlie. That's the idea, right? So, like, if that's not the case, then it's like all stories are fucked at this moment. All of them are fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that, like, if you're using that as a piece to conclude something, I mean, it could be faulty. That's really what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not concluding anything. I'm just saying, like, the story that's in front of us here with Candace. Although she did go over a guy popping out of a sewer or a manhole, shooting, then going back under the manhole, and then disappearing. And the neck thing was an exit wound, not an entry wound. And, like, I don't know what angle you shoot at for that. Would Candace see that in her fucking... Wouldn't you see, like, a bullet hole or, like, blood from the entry wound? I know it's not as explosive at the exit wound, but you'd still see blood, right? He's wearing an all-white shirt. Wouldn't the camera pick that up, depending on where it is?
I saw the video of the incident, and that's like... I'm not going to get too graphic, but imagine a fire hydrant getting blown open. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
And because of how quickly he bled out, and I've been seeing a lot of people who work in medicine saying that he was probably dead within seconds, if not maybe a minute. I think that bullet tore his carotid, and that's a very high pressure artery.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost impossible to stop if it gets even nicked.
Yeah. And probably hit the spine too, honestly. And probably hit the spine too, which means that he went instant paralyzed, like just circuitry just cut off.
Depending on the angle it entered at, yeah, there's a chance it could have severed the spinal cord near the base of the brainstem.
Yeah. But all right, I want to hear about these SD cards. Here we go.
And address the SD cards. And here is what Andrew had to say about the Turning Point affiliate, employee, somebody adjacent to Turning Point, who removed the SD cards from the camera that was behind Charlie in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. Take a listen.
Why did our team start taking down cameras immediately? Was it just in shock and just thinking, like, this is what we do, and just not thinking it's a crime scene?
I think massive shock. I think there's been some stories about the SD cards or whatever. That was because even in the shock, there was an understanding that the proximity of those cameras were going to be evidence, and they wanted to make sure they didn't get stolen out of the cameras. But
the closest cameras
anybody to run in. I mean, there was those videos of the kid running and grabbing the hats.
Hats, yeah.
So there was an understanding. I mean, I talked to the team on that, and they said, because we know people can be evil.
Yeah.
And they grabbed the SD cards so that nobody could get that footage.
So that law enforcement could get it.
Did I answer your Maha question sufficiently? Yeah, okay. He loved Maha.
Well,
What?
Where the fuck does Maha come anywhere into this?
Was that a cut? Or was that organic? Like, because if this guy showed Candace that means the cops didn't have it. Right? The cops would confiscate that. Or if you handed it over to the cops, they'd use it for themselves. So what the fuck am I hearing here? And why did he just jump to...
Well...
What the fuck? That's so fucking weird, dude.
It could be digital. Like that they give the cops. Like they just copy the file.
Oh, they want the hard copy. Come on. They want the hard copy. Come on, son. Well, if they were actually trying to figure things out and have, like, legit... Right? How are you supposed to exactly know if someone meddles with something, right? I'm sure there's digital forensics, but why fuck around with that? Why not just have the raw, as close to the raw shit as possible? Which means the direct video footage from the fucking hardware. Why wouldn't you have that?
Usually they just take the whole fucking device.
Exactly. They'd be like, give me the camera too.
Well, you can't change the crime scene, right? Like that's illegal or something.
Listen, I made that argument when we first saw it, I'm like, okay, maybe they're thinking someone's gonna run by and steal it. But why not just grab the camera and like, okay, this has to go to the cops. Why touch the fucking memory cards? It's so it's so weird. But either way, it's like, okay, maybe they're worried someone's gonna steal something. Okay, fine. Then they go up and they shack up and they're like, okay, TPUSA lawyers will speak for me now. And Candace had to go through the red tape of the fucking lawyers and all that shit just to get to a FaceTime video feed where he shows her the images of this. And it's like, is Candace seeing this before the fucking feds are? Or the cops?
That's terrifying.
Make that make sense to me. Please, somebody, make that make sense. And then this statement, when she brings up the question I would ask the harshest, which is about the cops, he's like, well, did I answer your question about Maha? Yeah, he loved Maha. Like, is that a cut? Is that an edit? Or is that, like, what actually happened? Was that actually just captured? Is this from a live stream or something? Like, what the fuck? Am I tripping about this? What the fuck?
If you're tripping, then I'm tripping too, because I saw the same fucking shit you just did.
I'm playing the whole fucking sequence over.
I don't understand all the videos that we've seen so far. Like you mentioned, how grainy they are, right? And I said, well, sometimes your camera could be very far away, and you'd have to super zoom it, and that would make it grainy. But
that's
in this
an edit
case,
zoom in. Yeah.
This camera is like a couple feet away from the guy, right? Like this would be the clearest video.
Yes.
Of anything of the scene. So, and they haven't shared it as far as I know.
Bro, so and there's a couple, I think there's a couple in front, maybe one on the side, and definitely one in the back, right?
Yeah.
There's cameras like 360 around the motherfucker.
So Candace has seen it, and maybe the feds, if they shared it with them or not.
Yeah, there's stationary cameras all over the place, and I'm sure a bunch of people have their fucking phones out too.
What were they like? Yo, just keep this as a souvenir? Did they save their own footage on a computer somewhere and then, all right, now we'll hand this over to the cops? There's no way you're gonna fucking, all right, let me email you a copy of this thing.
Yeah, they're not just gonna take shit in a Dropbox.
Unless they're incompetent, right? If they're incompetent, sure, I can believe that. But there's no way, like, yeah, just give me your little digital version, please.
That's the kind of incompetence that would get you fired, I'm pretty sure.
Like, the defense, if there was a decent enough defense lawyer, they'd have a fucking field day. Like, wait a minute, this isn't the direct raw footage? You got, like, you're just going on the word of this kid over here? Not even because they know anything, but just by adding, like, putting doubts into the story. Be a field day for them. So what the fuck? I'm gonna play the whole segment again.
And we're really stuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the whole segment again. I'm not gonna say a fucking word. I just want to see this, and I just want to look and see if there's a cut, an edit, a glitch, something. Here we go.
Go frame by frame if you have to.
I probably will if it looks funny to me. Otherwise, this guy just 180 on just change topics mid fucking sentence. Here we go.
Aftermath of the shooting. Take a listen.
Why did our team start taking down cameras immediately? Was it just in shock and just thinking like this is what we do and just not thinking it's a crime scene?
I think massive shock. I think there's been some stories about the SD cards or whatever. That was because even in the shock, there was an understanding that the proximity of those cameras were A, going to be evidence, and they wanted to make sure they didn't get stolen out of the cameras, but B, they didn't want anybody to run in. I mean, there was those videos of the kid running and grabbing the hats.
Hats, yeah.
So there was an understanding. I mean, I talked to the team on that, and they said, because we know people can be evil.
Yeah.
And they grabbed the SD cards so that nobody could get that footage.
So that law enforcement could get it.
Did I answer your Maha question sufficiently? Yeah, okay. He loved Maha.
Well,
what the fuck is this?
What the actual fuck? And there's a lot of like, first of all, her question was leading, but I guess they're already friends and they already work together, so whatever, fair enough. But it's just weird. Like first of all, he brings up shit we saw on the internet, which is the guy stealing hats and throwing them around and shit like that, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like the PR guy is behaving like a PR guy. It's just very like just, and then he brings up like, oh, it's, people do evil things, like bringing in like the religious aspect to it. Maybe I'm reaching, but it's like this is what I'm fucking seeing. Like that looks fucking weird. And she brings up the cops, and he's like, well, they answer your Maha shit.
I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
It felt like a cut the first time. I assumed it was because of how quickly he pivoted.
It's a camera shot, but it's
abrupt.
I don't know.
If not a cut in the video, definitely a cut in his own mind. God
Yeah, his brain. Yeah. If you freeze the frame, you see Tyler Durden blip for a second, and it's like
this is the kind of non sequitur that I expect from Donald Trump himself at this late date, because that guy's brain is leaking out of his ears.
Maybe he was answering the question about the police, and they're like, all right, you can't, we're not saying that. And they cut the thing and just, all right. Places and action. So did I answer that question about Maha? Right? Did your mom get those chocolates I sent her?
Or is that what
you're
saying?
Those? Like randomly. What's up?
Are you saying there was an edit in the video?
I leave the it's a cut, as in like it cuts from like looking at her to looking at him. But that could include like an actual like scene cut instead of just a camera cut. If that makes sense. Right? Instead of just like changing perspectives, you actually just like the actual scene changes in a way, and you can do it with editing. You can make it feel seamless, like depending on like overlapping certain audio files or shit like that, right, to make it look clean. But still, why not just even cut out the question about her asking about the police? Why let that stay there? Then have him just switch over to the Maha. Maybe he said something after this.
That shit bothers me.
Maybe that
bothers me.
I agree, Joe. Maybe they say something after that. Maybe he comes back to this, or she asks him again, or I don't know. But let's hit play. And Candace has the Viper eyes on. She's like,
we're already in the fucking nonsense story, so we might as well.
Candace is like, I'm telling you right now, if there was a weird conspiracy thing happening, the way this guy's talking would fit that conspiracy. The way he's talking and referencing things that we all seen just to reconfirm himself as being credible, and then also the appeal to religious ideas. I'm telling you right now. I'm just being honest. It's a kind of a reach, but I've seen crazy stories that people do in this world to do weird shit. Just being honest. Go check out the corporation. All right, here we go.
I called in the wolf to clean it up.
I mean, all right, here we go. Let's just
imagine that.
Let's see where they go.
Loved Maha Moms too.
That was the clip. Okay.
I think I would have probably pushed back and asked, okay, but now that, the feds have kind of been fumbling the ball just a little bit, a lot of it, maybe just release everything and let the sleuths get on it and solve this thing.
That's your...
I watched this
earlier
today. Okay.
It looked like he didn't answer. Like, the idea was like, you grab those things so that criminals don't get them, right? So you can secure them for the cops, that they have a real clear copy of a crime scene. And he didn't answer. He switched to Maha randomly.
And Candace just fucking goes with it.
Yeah, that my brain can't get over that one. That's so weird. I don't know. That's just so weird to me.
Meanwhile, and all this time, everybody else knows this is a crime, tampering with evidence.
Yes, but let's say they were, like, once again, I leave room for the idea, like, yo, people might steal things, right? So let me, like, grab the SD cards, or they probably should have grabbed the cameras themselves, because those things are worth a lot of money, right? Grab the camera and the SD card, maybe take the SD card out, put it in your pocket, and then grab the cameras and take them all and make sure you're on your way to the fucking police department, or you're following behind in the SUV behind Charlie, right? Maybe do that. But these guys held on to it, according to Candace. Then they showed her personally this footage that I don't even know if the fucking cops have it or not. Like, make that make sense to me, guys. Please, I beg you to.
No, they're not gonna give it to the Cubs.
No, wait, Jesse. How can that happen? How can that happen? How?
Well, how did it happen that
No.
like?
How could it? How could they have this evidence and be like, "Yeah, we're not giving that to the cops"? How could that happen?
Yeah.
How could that happen?
I don't know how they did what they did.
How could they not? Yeah, that's
a
crime.
Intentionally withholding evidence is also a criminal offense.
Yeah. We like they never mentioned giving it to the cops. I think they did. I'm joking around, but like the
did they? Did they? Did they mention
no,
that?
but they never actually even mentioned that, and that's like that's why I joke around about it, because it's like it's so strange. Like that seems okay. So we know that they took out the SD cards, right? And we know that because not because they've right now willingly told us, it's because someone else videotaped them doing that. Like that's why we know about it.
Exactly. And then the story about the Man of Steel bones that Charlie Kirk had because of his diet or some shit. Like, that didn't come out until Candace said, like, yeah, I saw the footage. He didn't get it. Didn't. There's no exit wound there. So then that's when this fucking guy came out. The Andrew Colvett guy comes out and says, like, well, listen, I talked to the coroner and he said it's all good. Charlie's just really strong, and it's a miracle. Like, what the fuck is happening? I'm wrecked again. But is this going to be like the Ukraine thing where like no one realizes the logic that's being thrown in front of our faces right here?
Jordan, what? You know why men shouldn't be in women's sports? Part of it is we have more bone density than women.
Yeah, not you, but sure, some dudes do. Anyways, yeah. Let's do is like look at Charlie. Like, sorry, that's not some supreme athlete there you're looking at. Sorry, he's not even moderately like athletic training, bro. He probably does enough to not look fat or overweight or whatever, but that's it. He's not some fucking hardcore trainer guy. Like, no.
You don't need to go through any bone to get to the carotid either.
Yes, but the idea was the exit wound, Joe. The exit wound. That was the idea of like if you got shot from that building on that rooftop, you're like the caliber of the gun that he showed, the caliber of the bullets that gun shoots that they showed us would go through his fucking neck pretty easily based on all the videos I keep seeing more and more of. That doesn't make sense for people, and no one's coming out to explain it. Except for Candace to tell us, like, well, there's a fucking sewer chute over here that someone snuck out of, maybe shot and went back under, and then this is fucking wreckage, dude. It's pure wreckage. I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm as lost as anyone is. I'm as lost as Cash Patel is, as Cash Patel's eyes are. I'm that lost, bro. I don't know which direction his eyes are looking, but I'm as confused as that, bro. Like right now.
I'm just telling you from what I could gather, based on the angle that I'm pretty sure I saw that bullet go in at. I don't think there was any bony tissue in its path.
Yeah, but something has to stop it. What stopped it in his fucking body? What stopped the bullet in his body? Is it just hit like, jugular and just stop there? I don't think so, right? Even like a low caliber bullet.
From a rifle round, absolutely. A lower caliber round like a 22 you'd get in like a very small hunting rifle or like a handgun, maybe.
But it still hit like the bone or something.
If you're using 22, you're not. If you're using 22, you're not guaranteed to kill though. So why would someone risk that?
Well, yes, 22's a very poor punch through.
Yeah.
But remember, the idea is that the guy's shooting from the fucking rooftop. That's the official idea. That's what I'm saying. If they find out otherwise, this whole thing is fuckery. I'm telling you, like, the FBI cannot come out and say, well, actually, there was a shooter in a drain behind him that actually took the shot. And all that evidence that we mounted up against this guy of where he confesses in text messages or on Discord or wherever the fuck. Yeah, that was all,
I was gonna bring those up too. Because even if we accept the shooter on the roof, which I don't think, I'm starting to think Tyler might not be the one who did it based on some of the discrepancies I'm seeing. There's still so much fuckery. The text messages, the color of the guy's shirt changing, him supposedly disassembling that rifle and stuffing it in a backpack, even though that kind of hunting rifle is a giant pain in the ass to disassemble.
And it even fitting in a book
jumping
bag.
off a 2-story build.
Yeah, because the wood that makes up the stock and the body of that rifle, that's all one piece. Yeah. You're not taking that shit apart.
Someone demonstrated taking it apart. It took him 40 seconds, and it was 2 giant pieces, and he had a book bag bigger than the guy's book bag in the pictures.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get it all the way in the bag.
I mean, no matter what, like, the FBI is kind of like, the cops involved in all this shit, and the investigate, it's kind of fucked, isn't it? No matter what. Either it wasn't...
Oh, yeah, they made a shit show of this whole fucking thing.
But I mean, like, really think about it. Let's say it was a lower caliber, because no one's buying the what's it called, 30-06 or whatever the fuck it's called. No one's buying that.
30-06 or 7.62 by 39, if you want to be metric.
Like, no one's gonna buy that got stopped by his fucking neck bone or some shit like that, right? Or spinal cord. So let's say they're like, oh, actually, we found the real weapon. It's actually this. Like, so then what was that gun you showed us pictures of in the first place? Like, they're fucked no matter. Like, I'm telling you, logically, there's nowhere to fucking go with this. There's nowhere to. Like, where are the ways? Where could you go? Where could you actually go?
That's what happens when your FBI is run by a couple of idiot podcasters who dick around on the internet.
Well, it's like I'm never advocating for cover-ups, but I'd be like, yo, guys, just keep your fucking mouth shut. Just stop it. Don't say another word.
The Fed, since its inception, has been doing this kind of shit, though. So it's not that these guys are new to it.
With the internet all staring at it, with 30 different fucking video footage, 75,000 different theories, 100,000 different fucking...
We've talked about JFK for 50 years, and it's obvious that... what's his name?
Dude, this is different, bro. I'm telling you, there's millions of people like,
no,
what is this? Yes, there are. There's millions of people.
This is the same. It's the same MO.
With the amount of camera angles, testimony, mainstream people like Candace saying, like, man, I have questions about that. Like, that's all happened. Like, come on. We didn't see the Zabruta film until fucking, in the 70s or some shit? Years after? This shit is happening in real time.
The cover-up still happened for JFK.
Dude, that'd be nuts.
MLK and RFK.
If they say it's this gun with this, or these ballistics, a guy shooting from this angle, it's this guy, he admitted it, and these weird-ass text messages, and on Discord, and I'll take all these things. And, yeah, we're not going to present the TPUSA cameras because we don't want to. Like, that's good. Like, it's just going to, like, you're just going to get fired, probably, right? That's your best chance. Fire Cash Patel him, like, he fucked it up. We're going to replace him. To just
if somebody did that under my watch, I would fire them.
We'll just be like,
out the door. Bye.
I'd investigate. Like, yo, how the fuck did this happen? Let's do a full investigation about that. That's what I would do.
Also, yes.
But if they just fire him and say, like, it was his fault and move on, if that works on people, I don't know what to fucking say. I'm wrecked with this video that Candace just showed us. Like, it's the wreckage. It's... I don't know. Do I blame movies again? A lack of abstract intelligence? Do I blame movies again? Or where people can't use their imaginations of, like, yo, what the fuck? How does this line up? Like, yo, if he means this, this is weird. If he means that, that's weird. If he means this, that's weird. Are people just not doing that anymore? I don't think... I see too many people questioning every little piece of detail. and a lot of them are very popular, at least on the Twitter sphere. Then you have Candace and other people on YouTube and on Rumble for sure. And what do you do? I don't know. I guess we keep playing Candace. Here we go.
And that's kind of what I want. I want them to be more passionate about getting to the bottom of things a little bit. Am I maybe being selfish by thinking that if I was close to him as Andrew Colvett every day on the show, I would be like more fired up about all the things that are going wrong? And again, I appreciate that they also have to then turn this next page, and they still have donors. They still have the same donors that were making financial threats against Charlie.
I'm rewinding. I'm sorry, viewers. I'm sorry, people in Discord. I'm rewinding. Did Candace not see what we just saw? Did she not see that? She asked him about the cops, and then boom, Maha. So there was like a cut there, or he blatantly sideswiped the fucking question or swerved around it, like blatantly. What is she seeing? That is she not seeing that? I'm playing it again. Here we go.
Standing that
like, is her fucking editor having fun at our expense?
Were A, going to be evidence, and they wanted to make sure they didn't get stolen out of the cameras, but B, they didn't want anybody to run in. I mean, there was those videos of the kid running and grabbing the hats.
Hats, yeah.
So there was an understanding. I mean, I talked
that was
to
after the whole place cleared out, right?
On that, and they said, because we know people can be evil.
Yeah.
And they grabbed the SD card so that nobody could get that footage.
So that law enforcement could get it.
Did I answer your Maha question sufficiently? Yeah, okay. He loved Maha.
Candace.
He loved Maha moms too.
Is there a noise in the background there?
Yeah, okay. He loved Maha.
So that law enforcement could get it.
All right, if there's no jump cut here, then she's just fucking letting that shit go.
Hold on.
He loved Maha moms.
Hold on. Listen for background noise. I don't know if it was one of you guys or in the video, but I want to hear it. Here we go.
Card so that nobody could get that footage.
So that law enforcement could get it.
Did I answer your Maha question sufficiently? Yeah, okay. He loved Maha.
You heard that, right?
He loved Maha moms too.
That was her. Okay, that was her with her. I guess her mic was cut off. Right?
Maybe.
I see her hands moving like she's talking. I hear a voice. But I guess her microphone is off or something. Wait, let's watch it again. One more time.
The SD card so that nobody could get that footage.
So that law enforcement could get it.
Did I answer your Maha question sufficiently? Yeah, okay. He loved Maha.
Well,
he loved Maha moms too.
Right?
I think I would have probably pushed back and...
What the fuck am I watching? What the fuck? That was her talking, right? In the back, but her mic was off or something?
I heard her clearly say the word well.
Yeah, I heard that word too. But there's other, it's like muttered in there. You can see her hands moving. Almost like they're on a different
Is she pioneering some new form of kabuki theater no one told me about?
It's like I think that's the editors changing segments. But like they did it so poorly. Like, why even put the question in it? I don't fucking know. I'm not even leaping to conspiracy about that. I'm offended as someone who tries to edit things. I'm offended. Like, what the fuck was that? I can hear her in the background. Like, why is her microphone off? What is going on here? I think they tried to make it like seem like it was a natural, just turning the story over. Like, oh, okay, now we're talking about Maha. But meanwhile, she's like in the middle of her conversation. If the microphones are on different feeds, right, for an editor, then you can actually mute it, right? But she can get picked up in his microphone. Right? So that's what it looks like, bro. And Candace, no observations about any of that somehow. I am fucking wrecked. And remember,
just gets worse.
Well, remember, she exonerated that guy. Oh, no, he's just doing his job. He's just doing his job. She said that in both days when talking about this particular thing, the SD card thing. And now she's just ignoring that. Like, they just moved questions. Like, did you guys do that? But that wouldn't make sense of why her microphone would be off. What am I? Is like, yo, Candace, how are you? Are you gonna leave it to the comments section? You're not gonna crack detective? You're not gonna fucking pick up on that? Come on, dude. What the fuck? She asked him, like, yo, the cop's getting it, right? Which is, like, for me, at least, like, I don't know the exact police protocol, but my common sense, my dumb guy logic would say, yeah, the cops would confiscate that, right? They'd get the copy of it.
Hold on. She knows they're not giving it to the cops. They're keeping it for themselves, and she wanted them earlier to just give it to her so she could get her exclusive. So she's already operating under the thing like, yeah, the cops don't have it.
But the cops don't know about this now?
They don't have it. I don't know if they don't know about it. I mean, if they watch Candace's show, they know about it.
Bro, these fools are... If they... I mean... That'd be like, you guys are the worst, and Candace, you are a fucking creep. Those are two... Like, according to her belief, and maybe she doesn't trust the feds. Fair enough. That's one thing, but let's be real. You're using it for your fucking video series. Don't lie to me, bro. You're using this for your fucking video series. 100%.
Remember, they let Candace watch it.
Exactly, through FaceTime. I'm wrecked.
But the cops getting it, she's so that makes her an accomplice to the tampering of evidence. She knows they tampered with evidence and said, yeah, don't give it to the cops. Don't give it to the feds. Let me use it. Can I air it? No, you're not going to let me air it. Oh, fuck. Can I watch it? Okay. I can watch it. All right. Deal. And I'll tell my audience what I saw.
Right.
And she told us. She told us we saw no blood from the back of Charlie Kirk from the shooting.
Maybe because it doesn't support the narrative that the cops are going with, that they're like, all right, we have to like not pay attention to this. Let it go. Let Candace make her money. But like at the same time, like let's say they're ignorant somehow. And it's like, how the fuck are you ignorant of some lady getting TV show, like network television numbers of viewership? Candace is getting network television like numbers of viewership during this whole thing. And these guys are just like, like no one in the entire organization was like, hey, did you see what Candace put out? No one noticed. No one. There's no crazy, super fanboy or fangirl of Candace saying, hey, yo, FBI, how come Candace is like outflanking you on all this shit, huh? You didn't see the footage, huh? Like no one's calling in with shit like that. Like what's going on here? Someone make this make sense. But it's gonna go away, isn't it? It's like the fucking Ukraine thing. It's gonna go away, isn't it? Like it never happened. I'm fucking wrecked. Like holy fuck.
She keeps fucking bringing up all these things we can't address. We just don't address it.
I'm gonna ask one more time. Just like, I mean this seriously. Am I tripping about any of this shit? Am I just like not seeing something that just makes this all make sense? Or like, am I tripping? Anyone? That's a serious question. Anyone see where I'm just like, I'm leaping in logic, I'm leaping somewhere? Am I tripping?
It's not that. It's that this is fucking crazy.
I have to check myself because like it's going through it like just so casually. Like we didn't just hear what we just heard. Like she didn't just go over the thing that she just went over.
What happened?
Like Cash Patel isn't on fucking Twitter say like, yo, here's the theories that are out there. We're investigating all of it. Like these things aren't happening. They're out there. I saw them with my eyes.
What happened?
We're gonna
with this. This is just bizarre. I'll play it again. It's worth it. I'll play the whole fucking segment again. You tell me if you see anything weird or wrong to your eyes and ears. Okay. Here we go. It's going to be the Andrew Colvett guy, the PR dude for TPUSA with some lady. She's interviewing him, and they're going over the SD cards that were taken out of the cameras that were closest to Charlie Kirk. Here we go.
Listen.
Why did our team start taking down cameras immediately? Was it just in shock and just thinking like this is what we do and just not thinking it's a crime scene?
I think massive shock. I think there's been some stories about the SD cards or whatever, that was because even in the shock, there was an understanding that the proximity of those cameras were A, going to be evidence, and they wanted to make sure that it didn't get stolen out of the cameras, but B, they didn't want anybody to run in. I mean, there was those videos of the kid running and grabbing the hats.
Hats, yeah.
So there was an understanding. I mean, I talked to the team on that, and they said, because we know people can be evil.
Yeah.
And they grabbed the SD card so that nobody could get that footage.
So that law enforcement could get it.
Did I answer your Maha question sufficiently? Yeah, okay. He loved Maha.
Well,
he loved Maha moms too.
That's it.
Did you see anything crazy there? I saw plenty of crazy right there.
And he didn't say yeah or nothing. Like,
On the Maha.
He just pivoted.
Yeah, that's
but I think it's an edit. Because you could hear her talking in the background through his microphone, but her microphone's off. And if you do like kind of like I think it's called like lossless style recording, where everything's like on its own, like kind of like with
on
Adobe
track.
Yes, like Adobe, like every track is an individual thing. Like think of a song like where guitar here is only on this track right here, drums only on this particular track here, right? Like all that shit, piano, whatever. So they have their microphones probably set up like that, where she has her own microphone feed and he has his own microphone feed, instead of like all being like jumbled together as just the audio, right? So when she's saying something, she's like, well, some shit like that, right? You can hear her in the background through his microphone, like she was just talking basically, but it cuts to this guy talking about Maha when she asks like, yeah, so the cops could get it, and then he's like, oh yeah, Maha, you never answered your question on Maha, and it's like, wait a minute, wait a fucking minute, I'm telling you, this is the brain breaking, and Candace doesn't even notice it apparently, she doesn't even see it somehow. And that's breaking my fucking brain. Forget about the editing stuff where people may not know, like, EQing audio and all that shit, right? Like that. But just the idea of topic change so quickly like that should be like a neck snapper. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the question was actually the most pertinent, which is, do the cops have this fucking SD cards? Do they have these memory cards from the fucking cameras? Do the cops have it? Right? She's not asking that question, but she's saying it basically. Right?
Well,
maybe
behind the
scenes,
maybe
this is all part of her
behind
master
the scenes,
plan, Jordan. Maybe this is all part of her master
behind
plan.
The scenes, she knows.
Make all the liberals double take so hard that they tear their brain stems. I don't fucking know.
I am wrecked. I mean,
behind the scenes, she knows. Behind the scenes, she knows the answer to that question. So why does she need to consider it now?
You can say, once again, you can say you don't trust the feds, right? But if you're withholding, if you're withholding evidence, that's something different, is it not? I'm pretty sure that's different. And she has made no statements about the cops have the thing I just saw. She has made no statements about that at all, which is kind of bizarre.
So if they have not given over to the cops, she knows that. If they have given it over to the cops, she knows that from her communications with them. So why would she need to consider that now?
Yeah, she's not
considering that. That's my problem, Dubster. I haven't heard her consider that idea of like, shouldn't those go to the cops?
Because she knows.
No, the person who's asking the question, she's there. She knows they have.
The questioner of Andrew Cohen.
Yeah, so she's not like saying it like
I'm saying
like,
her.
Hey,
no,
is that
I'm
the
saying
case?
Candace.
Oh, I was thinking the girl knows it, and
Candace knows it because she said, "Can I?" Candace said, "I want to look at the video footage," and she did look at the video footage from the back of what was taken from the SD cards.
Yeah, but like,
so she knows about the status of where that is at the current moment.
She might know.
Unless it's changed without them informing her.
Yes, which is why
they could do that.
She might not know. She might know. The girl asking the questions might not know, Jesse. She might not know. she might be too lower on the fucking totem pole to have that information. Maybe the Andrew guy would more likely know than anyone in this, between Candace, that girl, and the Andrew guy. He would probably know more than anyone else would. But once again, there's a big fucking rain cloud hanging over this, which is, yo, FBI. No one told you that Candace has seen unseen footage of this shit. You guys don't have it in your possession. You're not going to confiscate it or subpoena it or whatever the fuck you can do. To quote Ted Lieu, you're the frickin' FBI. Go fucking get it if you want that shit. Maybe they don't want that, but that would also be raising more red flags. I'm telling you, wherever direction you look, it's fucked. Something's fucked with somewhere. It's so fucking weird. But I feel like people are just going to move on like, oh, well, tomorrow's Wednesday. Anyways, move on with their fucking days. And I'm like, well, how the fuck? Candace, Ukraine-Russia negotiations, how is she inside on that? Like, how did that happen? Like my brain starts scrambling. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But maybe she brings it up. Let's give her room. But I saw no reaction from her physically, and her follow-up words don't sound so like she's gonna like dive into this, because it's a kind of a smoking gun situation of, you guys edited that or something happened here. But here we go.
I think I would have probably pushed back and asked, okay, but now that, you know, the feds have kind of been fumbling the ball just a little bit, a lot of it, maybe just release everything and let the sleuths get on it and solve this thing.
Let the feds see the film.
She's saying withhold it from the cops and just release it yourself. But no one's confirmed that they've given it to the fucking cops. That's what I keep asking for, but no one's saying it. Was that a statement
she knows behind the scenes.
Hold on.
She knows behind.
Hold on. Was, like, in that video footage that she showed us, was that even being said? No, it wasn't, because when the girl brought it up, he switched to Maha. We didn't even fucking know. And it's like, clearly looks edited to me, based on like the little background noise I heard there. It was like, it's so her advice is like, hang on to this and give it out to the public. And it's like, shouldn't the FBI hear that and be like, yo, go get that shit? What the fuck? You're gonna withhold that? Go get it.
I got two questions for her, and the one I would ask her depends on whether or not this was edited. If this was edited, Candace, the fuck are you hiding? If it's not edited, Candace, the fuck are you doing?
Well, if it is edited, but on the TPUSA side, maybe not Candace's side. Maybe she's just watching the video. She just watched a live stream, right? That was basically like maybe an uploaded video or a live stream or something like that. Probably not a live stream, because I think it was edited. But you can live stream and like just play recorded footage if you wanted to, right? You could just do that. I think Candace does that quite a bit often, honestly. She tricks her audience.
That's the thing you can do.
He definitely does.
But yeah, either way, she should be questioning the fucking footage in some form or fashion, or her team did it, and people should be questioning Candace about that. But go ahead, Jesse. Sorry.
I think from what she just said, I question if they gave it to the cops. Like from when she's talking about releasing the footage. It's
there's no. But Jesse, think of the logic of that.
Yeah,
not saying you're wrong. I'm saying like, shouldn't someone from the FBI be like, yo, Candace is with her fucking, once again, network television numbers she's pulling in as like viewership, meaning like the internet's watching. People are watching this like it's the fucking View, right? So there's a significant amount of people watching and talking about it. And you're telling me the FBI has no fucking clue. Are they that bad? They can't be that bad.
You're fumbling it that bad that maybe you should let them see the film.
If the FBI is fumbling it that bad, then Donald Trump has definitely made some serious errors picking Cash and Dan.
Well, unless it's on more conspiracy side, unless it's on purpose, right? Because if you have a narrative of random kid named Tyler Robinson on the roof with this gun doing this action, you don't want that other evidence. So you just like, oh, we didn't even see that. The conspiracy theories, they don't even mention it. Like, fuck that other evidence. Fuck that shit. We have our guy. Right? If you go down the conspiracy lane.
Accidentally this dumb. Yeah, I would not imagine that.
Hey, I'm just going down my logical rabbit holes here, and either way, something's fucked up happening. No matter which way around it, either these guys are withholding information, or Candace is knowingly, or knows that they're withholding and not even saying anything to the audience, yada yada yada. But she's basically saying, like you said, Jesse, she's saying like, hey, if I were you, keep it for yourself and then give it to the fucking public, like upload it for the public to say. It's like, shouldn't the FBI be like, yo, let's say they're doing conspiracy cover-up shit, like, yo, don't you fucking release that, right? Give us they want the copy for themselves, but to destroy it if they wanted to do that, right? They'd almost grab it day one. If they were doing like a full-scale cover-up, conspiracy-style shit, they'd grab that fucking evidence, wouldn't they? Just to destroy it. So it's like, I'm telling you, something weird is happening, no matter which way you look at it. But we didn't let Candace get past this point yet, so maybe she dives into it. To be fair.
So basically, they took the fucking cards out of the cameras.
Yeah.
The ones that were like right in front of him.
Somebody else filmed that.
No one knows where the cards are right now.
No, they're in. At the very least, they're in the hands of
correct.
TPUSA.
Well,
yeah.
Do you know
it
that?
It could have been to the cops or not.
They could have handed it to cops. Right?
That's what I mean. You don't know where we don't know where those
exactly.
No,
we know that the team took it.
They did show the back cameras behind Charlie Kirk footage to Candace Owens.
According
to Candace Owens.
Yeah. And then she's talking like, hey guys, hang on to it for yourself and release it to the internet on your own. So like, but it's like, it's fucking weird because people are like all going crazy about the rifle they showed us and the caliber of the bullet, right? And they're seeing no exit wound, or according to Candace, they're saying there's no exit wound, right? And they're like, yo, if it was this gun, this would like blow through his fucking neck, or you'd see blood or splatter, whatever the fuck, right? And like they have to contend with their own narrative that they already put out there of, furry loving, Antifa leftists that pull the trigger from a rooftop, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe that gets in the way because they can't change guns now. They already showed us a picture of a gun, right? They already did that. They can't be like, oh, that was the wrong gun in the woods. There was another one out there. It's like, what? No. It's like no one's going to believe that, right? It's like there's no matter where direction you go, I'm telling you, someone's fucked. Or some sort of part of the story is fucked, no matter which way you go about it.
I know who's fucked. Do you want me to tell you who's fucked?
The audience, but yeah, go ahead.
The general public.
Yeah. There you go. But all right, I kept stopping Candace here because that clip was so fucking nuts to me. That was fucking crazy. But let's let her keep going. Maybe she ponders more theories here. But she seems very casual about it, which is worrying to me. But here we go. There's more Candace Owens.
And that's kind of what I want. I want them to be more passionate about getting to the bottom of things a little bit. Am I maybe being selfish by thinking that if I was close to him as Andrew Colvett every day on the show, I would be like more fired up about all the things that are going wrong? And again, I appreciate that they also have to then turn this next page, and they still have donors. They still have the same donors that were making financial threats against Charlie and blackmailing him, in his own words, by the way. He said that he felt morally blackmailed by them if he had disagreements, and they were trying to control who he could speak to and who he could be friends with. And actually, by the way, we have a clip of Alex and Andrew speaking about that moral blackmail. Take a listen.
There's this great clip when we were in Myrtle Beach, and he got asked if, from somebody in the audience, if he was going to, debate Candace or, disavow Tucker. And Charlie's answer I thought was amazing. I remember he came off stage. He's like, "Do you like that one?" And I was like,
he would always ask that for reassurance.
Yeah. He always loved like, "Did you see that?
It's a bad sign.
Do I look good? Was that a good clip? Do you think that'll go viral?"
Yeah. And I remember
that's not a good sign.
What did you say, Jordan?
That's not a good sign for some sort of moral leader person. Hey, did that look good?
Oh.
Yeah. Is that clippable?
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's not very good. That ain't Christ-like, as Kanye says. But all right, here we go.
saying like, yeah, I thought it was amazing. It was morally so crystal clear. And he basically said, I don't appreciate being morally blackmailed. And, you know, and every time people would say that to him, he would dig his heels in. It's like, well, maybe Tucker's going to give 2 speeches now at AmFest.
And that is the truth.
What are you trying to paint here,
He said the same thing about when he was in the Hamptons, that he was feeling like he was morally blackmailed. He was telling people that he was digging his heels in further and saying, I'm going to bring Candace back. You know, you guys kind of bullied this ending. And by the way, that clip he's speaking about, I actually just saw it. It's from August, so the month before he lost his life. And here is Charlie in his own words about how he was.
So obviously, you know, the threat to all worlds, Candace Owens, it'd be a dangerous thing to put her on the microphone at TPUSA because the sheer brilliance and the so get the fuck out of here. You're propping yourself up with all like, okay. Here we go.
Like every episode.
That's just bizarre behavior from Crisis King people. Here we go.
And by the way, that clip he's speaking about, I actually just saw it. It's from August, so the month before he lost his life. And here is Charlie in his own words about how he was feeling.
How is your relationship with Candace Owens nowadays?
She's a great friend. You know, look, I don't agree with everything Candace says, but you know what I don't do? I don't stop being friends with people just because people morally blackmail me. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either. Look, I have different views on things as Candace. I have different views on Israel than Candace. I have different views on a lot of geopolitics. But honestly, I traveled the country.
You're saying like pause. No, good.
No. Did he just say Candace is mortally blackmailing him? And we just missed. I've watched this earlier while you weren't paying attention.
No, that's why I'm trying
to
hear the context.
Play it again.
He's not done yet.
I'll play it again, but he's not saying Candace morally blackmailed him. He's saying other people are morally blackmailing him to stay away from Candace Owens. I think that's what he's actually saying.
Well, he didn't finish the context yet, so I wanted to hear like what's he.
Let's let it just play it from the beginning. We'll hear it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
His life, and here is Charlie in his own words about how he was feeling.
How is your relationship with Candace Owens nowadays?
She's a great friend. You know, look, I don't agree with everything Candace says, but you know what I don't do? I don't stop being friends with people just because people morally blackmail me. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either. Look, I have different views on things as Candace. I have different views on Israel than Candace. I have different views on a lot of geopolitics. But honestly, I traveled the country with Candace. I went to her wedding. I saw her meet her husband. I went to Israel with Candace, which is a fun story I'll tell you at some point. But what I don't like is when people demand, you must stop being friends with somebody. Whoa. That's a left-wing tactic. Don't do that. I'm not saying you do that, but other people do that. We should never resort to that. In fact, if you believe what I believe, should
I remember when Charlie and Candace were like just kind of coming up in the world.
Hold on.
Doesn't that feel like a lifetime ago?
Hold on, Joe. Hold on.
Don't do that. I'm not saying you do that, but other people do that. We should never resort to that. In fact, if you believe what I believe, shouldn't you want me to be friends with people that don't agree with us? Shouldn't you want me to also be a tool of influence? And so I think the world of Candace. She's a great mother. She certainly has very, very fun opinions at times. And she's a great talent. She says a lot of stuff that sometimes I don't agree with, but that's what makes our relationship and our friendship interesting. My advice to all of you, you might not like somebody, but never tell somebody like me to stop being friends with somebody on an interpersonal level just because of disagreement. It's bad. It's what the left does, and we should rise above it as conservatives. Thank you so much.
That's nothing, dude. That wasn't like, oh my God, world-changing statement. He won't disavow Candace Owens. We need to go assassinate him or something. No, but is anyone else hearing that slightly implied here? Right? Is she implying that kind of?
Implied fully from other people.
There's an 11-letter word for this. Do you want to know what it is?
Yep.
It's predictable.
Yeah. So the references I've heard.
All I'm hearing is Candace wanted her to be talked about.
Yeah.
Hear a little bit of that. Yeah. Go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
Like what he just said has been associated to like blackmail from Israel, from blackmail from trying to convince him to do.
Sorry, I naturally laughed when you said that.
Yeah, and so that's the way that that phrase had been communicated a lot. If I just heard him speak right now, like I did, I would even that wouldn't even cross my mind really. But like that is like an intentional association that's being made that I don't like. That's not what I just saw. Like
He just
I don't
said what I was saying it was, which is
yeah.
I will be your tool of influence. Just work with don't don't
Yeah.
don't discard me, because I hang out with Candace. Let me be an influence for Candace on your behalf in a way. He's not saying that completely like in a full blown like super weird way, but I think he's saying it in the sense of I agree with you, with whoever these people that he's talking about. Like, we agree with the
Not
people that are
Candace view.
the people that are morally, quote unquote, morally blackmailing him, right? Like, oh, I agree with you and your ideas, and I can actually talk to Candace without just throwing her in the garbage can and actually try to influence her in a direction, or her fans, or whatever. All right, I can influence her towards what I think is the correct way to be, which is whatever the fuck they're talking about, right? Of people accusing Charlie of being morally black, or sorry, the people that are quote unquote morally blackmailing him, according to Charlie, right? So once again, the idea of Charlie
Hold
was a
on.
threat is just batshit crazy to me.
If I go with your premise right there, I could extend it to say, Charlie is saying, "Hey, quit blackmailing me. This is already quit blackmailing me. This is already part of my plan."
Yes. Yeah. He wasn't. He was. That's my big problem with the whole Israel angle, or even the anti-Trump angle, any of that shit, bro. It didn't make sense because that's not how he was behaving. He did a whole focus group, not because he's trying to really learn from the younger people. I don't think so. I think it was more so of trying to pass things on to them to be like, yo, this is the direction to go in. And I can actually take some of the criticisms, I can take that information to my other friends that I seemingly care more about than you guys, you fucking college kids. I like these guys more. So you know what? I'll bring back to them like, hey guys, the young people aren't liking what's going on over there. So you need to like fix up your PR or change your policies around or whatever the fuck, right? Either way, nothing was screaming for, hey, Charlie Kirk is a threat now. We need to take him out. I don't see that at all. I don't see that from the Republicans to Trump from MAGA, Trump administration to Israel. I don't see that connection at all of he was like some sort of threat to be taken out. I don't see that. I hear people saying that stuff, and I understand maybe some guy yelled at him in the fucking Hamptons, right? But that's not good enough. That is not good enough to me of an explanation, especially where his policy seemed to be going in. Like what? Charlie Kirk was going to bring up October 7th, these guys let it happen. Let's say he did that. What the fuck do you think's going to happen from that? What do you think's going to happen? Like, oh my God, all the youth has changed their minds now. Like, no, it's not big enough of an avalanche to stop what's happening over there. It's just not. I'm sorry, but no offense, dweeby little Charlie Kirk is not doing shit in regards to that stuff, in my humble opinion. I'm sorry. Now, if it was Trump doing it, then yeah, I could understand someone like taking him out because, right, he has direct material fucking things in regards to what happens over there with money and with financial and military support and intelligence. You could actually cut him off if you wanted to, right? That'd be like an actual threat. But Charlie, what?
Trump is the president. Charlie is, for all intents and purposes, a glorified TikToker.
I mean, if Charlie went all out against Israel, let's say he did that, right? All these people would just leave him and say, yo, Charlie's full of shit. They'd probably do other tactics, not shoot and kill him. They'd probably be like, oh, we found porn on Charlie, like not even child porn, just porn, period, on Charlie Kirk's fucking laptop. And that's enough.
If they've got 100 ways to ruin your life, they don't need to end it.
Exactly. So that doesn't. It's going to be implied anyways.
The focus group. It wasn't about like how do we like how should we think about what's right and what's not right. It was about like messaging and how do they convince people, right? Like that's really the root of having the focus group.
He had he had the Andrew Colbeck guy there, the PR guy of TPUSA.
Yeah.
He had him there, and in the focus group, in the think tank thing, and like
and people
they
talking
spent
about him
5 seconds on Gaza, 5 seconds on the biggest problem of what's going on over there. They spent 5 fucking seconds on it. So like, no, they're not actually doing anything to, create some sort of opposition to what's going on over there. Like, no, that was not the case. But sorry, Jesse. Go ahead.
Yeah. He's definitely not trying to oppose Israel. Now, what's kind of spun out of control lately is a lot of footage that where he's might have said some statements that were like that, right? But although it could sound like that, from his body of work, that is so tiny, and it wasn't like linear, like oh he's progressing or changing in this direction.
Yep, exactly.
Because which is really the part that kind of throws that theory off. And so if you were to think that somebody says something a couple times and then that's how they were moving, then you would believe that BB's reference to the Bible a couple times, like that means he's moving to Christianity. No, like he mentions it because I mean there's a reason. Like he's like that doesn't mean that he's changing. He's just using it.
It's a useful tool that they can use on stupid people.
Well, yeah. And most of the times, let's be honest, the sensational nature of events like this, even though, once again, sorry to sound dark about this, but people die every fucking day in gruesome, horrendous ways. There's stories surrounding Charlie Kirk that were horrendous, where there's multiple people being blown up or shot or killed or on fire or whatever the fuck, right?
There were those fucking kids that got shot in Colorado on the same day.
There you go.
There was a whole school shooting same day.
Yeah.
And you know what we get? We get crickets. We get fucking crickets for that.
Exactly. So there's shit all over the world, not even just domestically. All over the fucking world, there's things happening. But with this event, I understand why people are like, it's a lot more sensationalized. And thus you end up like, which is important to do, right? To investigate every little, like, man, what's going on? Like, what was he saying yesterday? Where was he at 2 days ago, 3 days ago? What was he thinking? Where was he trending? All that's, I understand all that stuff. But do not get lost in the fucking sauce. Don't get lost in the sauce. Consider all of it. Consider everything. And
don't miss the forest for the trees.
Yes. And once again, the whole Israel angle to all this, I'm definitely not gonna get in anyone's way of asking questions and all that shit. That's perfectly fine to me to ask questions about anything. That's always worthy. But my personal intuition, I'm just not there. I'm not there. It doesn't make sense to me.
There is an objective reality to what happened around this whole thing, and unfortunately, we're probably never going to know what it is.
Actually, I'm sure there's there's like investigative things that could have happened to really nail some answers down that I don't think is going to happen either, Joe. Based on what we're seeing right now, if this Candace thing about other cameras is true, that means we're not getting certain things are just not going to happen for the vast public of seeing these things. But, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the fucking FBI is never gonna tell us what really happened because it's way too politically charged.
Well, they look like dumb fucks right now because Candace Owens is outflanking them by miles right now. She's showing shit that these fools have not even touched, apparently.
And I'll keep saying this until I'm fucking millipede food. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino aren't interested in leading a major investigative agency. They're interested in running their fucking dick lickers on Twitter.
Well, Joe, that's the most Democrat thing I've ever heard you say. These fools, in my opinion, these fools are part of the bullshit we see today. It's not about their fucking podcast. It's about the job, the real job, not fucking, investigative FBI shit, and not I'm a personality on Twitter or whatever the fuck. I think it's either we're distracting, we're contributing to the fuck up of the world. We're fucking the world up. We're a part of it. I know we are. Let's get the job done. That's where I think these fucking idiots are at. That's why I call them devil worshippers, personally. But anyway.
Is that why we also call them J. Edna when we're not recording?
Wait, what?
Is that why we call them J. Edna?
J. Edna? Wait, what?
J. Edgar Hoover?
I know J. Edgar Hoover.
No?
What the fuck is J. Edna?
It's because J. Edgar Hoover was a notorious cross-dresser. You didn't know that?
No. I guess that's where you were going, but I didn't know exactly. I'm like, I never heard that before.
I was going to say, I would hope you know that by now. Fuck. Let's not get hung up on it, though.
He's looking for fingerprints and heels, bro. 100%. All right. Let's keep playing, Candace.
Dan Bongino's got blue number 7 lipstick.
All right. Let's keep playing, Candace. Let's see if she goes any further or she switches stories, wherever the fuck. If it goes nowhere, I'll just end the fucking video, but let's see. Here we go.
Charlie was a very loyal friend, and I'm going to continue to be a loyal friend to Charlie. I can't stand it. I cannot stand to see the lies that are being told.
I see the anger on your face.
Intentionally taking things that I say out of context, people that were trying to pretend that Charlie and I weren't friends. It is maddening, but I know that God never gives any person more than they can handle, and I can handle it. And I am handling it. And I want to get to the bottom of what was going on because I know he was under a tremendous amount of pressure. And like I said, I am hopeful that Erica will speak out more thoroughly. I know she's got so much to worry about right now. I mean, chairman, CEO, and still has to be a mother. Pray for her. Just pray for her because it is a huge burden to have. And she'll get through it. She'll get through it
Jordan, I just remembered something.
God?
Something. One conspiracy I saw floating around for a little bit. Like before it was announced that Erica was going to take over Turning Point.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people were saying this in total, but I saw a few whispers here and there of Ben Shapiro taking over Turning Point. And they were using that as some kind of justification for the idea that Israel had Charlie Kirk axed.
Oh my God. I mean, the first speaker we saw was Michael Knowles, which is Daily Wire, right? But
yeah, failed actor extraordinaire.
It's not needed. It's not honest to God, not needed. I mean, I know Daily Wire, like their content is horrendous and terrible, and no one fucking watches it. They have to view bot probably and pay for ads on YouTube to be like, please come watch Daily Wire, please, right? But all that for that? Nah. No fucking chance.
I don't buy it. That's way too much fucking work to do for not enough payoff.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
But, honestly, let's say Ben did take over TPUSA, right? And he became, the kind of the figurehead and the thought leader of all of it. Kids would just walk away just like they did with Daily Wire. They'd be like, yo, you're trash. Bye. And move on to something else. So
people figured out that Ben Shapiro was trash fucking years ago.
Yeah.
His time in the spotlight was 2014, 2015, 2016. He's old hat by now.
Yeah, it was destroying the left on campuses and whatever the fuck he did.
Ben Shapiro destroys liberal student with facts and logic. Yeah. However fucking many videos recycled that title.
Yeah. But it's just I reacted to a video years ago. Back then, it was I don't even know, 2017, 18 maybe, where it's Shapiro and Steven Crowder, and they're talking about Iran, and they're both selling war with Iran. Now, let's be real. A lot of these people, fans, or people that don't like them, don't even know that video exists. But I remember watching that shit, and these fools were selling a war with Iran. And if you fast forward to 2025, it's well, we bombed Iran. It's but those seeds were trying to be spread out like way back there, even probably like not even probably, definitely before that, right?
You know what? You know that scare tactic they use about Iran getting nuclear weapons. Iran is like 17 minutes away from having nuclear warheads. Yeah. They've been trotting that out since the fucking Reagan administration, at least.
Yeah. But that was like in an era where it was more of like, you know, the right versus the woke left. So those guys would just ignore things being thrown in front of their faces. So they wouldn't even notice that these guys are selling a war with another country because they don't even realize that, like, that's the actual foreign policy plan of the United States. They had these younger people had no fucking clue. But as time went by, you have more and more people saying, like, yo, fuck these unnecessary bullshit fucking wars. So thus, Crowder had to change tune a little bit, at least. Not too much, but a little bit. And Shapiro's just the same. He kept it the same, bro. He did.
Yeah,
and
now
that shit's not going to be popular. It's just not.
Shapiro, I put him in the same bracket as maybe Tim Pool at this point.
No. Ben's a lot more straightforward of his neocon,
as far
devil-worshipping
as the audience. As far as the audience size goes.
Well, I think Timmy will pull in more viewers, for sure. Whether they're bots or not, either way, Timmy's going to get bigger numbers. Because young people don't like the idea, for whatever reason, of going on these long expenditure fucking wars. They don't fucking like it. And Ben has no choice but to sell wars. That's what he does. There's no choice.
One of the other things
will do
really
it through the side door. That's
one of the other things that's really not helping Ben's case lately is all these failed movie and TV projects.
Well,
because that's money. That's money. That's money that's also just getting pissed away.
I mean, his projects are horrendous. Well, Daily Wire's projects are horrendous, but he has an eye. I'll give him that. He has a better eye. Well, not an eye as in like it's really good. He has an eye in the sense of, compared to the rest of YouTube, he's actually slightly above average at reviewing movies, in my humble opinion. But he's, still Ben Shapiro. What do you do about that?
It's still not saying a lot.
Yeah, it's not saying a lot. But
who's the tallest kid in kindergarten?
Exactly. But all right, let's. It's probably gonna be ending very soon here because Candace is slowly going nowhere. But here we go.
I also want to get to this story because I want to tell you guys we are winning in a very big way, a lot. I think the awakening that's happening right now, left and right coming together. And I do want to shout out my lefties here because I felt like I was one of the only people on the right who was anti-vax before it was cool. Like none of my kids were vaccinated and people thought it was wacky. But before I got there, the left stream moms were actually the ones that were like very on it with like, what did these products? And that was like a weird place that I didn't kind of fit in conservative land, being like vocally anti-vax, and took a huge risk in doing our Shot in the Dark series that's available on our website. I think it's the most important series for any parent to watch, whether you decide to do vaccines or not do vaccines. Please be educated. Get educated about each vaccine. You will be shocked.
Okay, she's doing promotion. Fair enough. If you're a parent and Candace, Club Candace, CandaceOwens.com. But I will leave it there. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. It was mostly just kind of mundane, or things I've seen already. But some interesting points to it, I guess, from Candace, or background information. Like with the guy with the camera that was looking at the roof footage, or the guy laying down on the roof. They're like, yo, who the fuck is that? He just ran from there to there. What the fuck is that? So I'll say fair enough on that. But since she goes to the Andrew Colvett guy and TPUSA, that's when things got weird to me. But you know what? In the comments, please tell me if you're weirded out as well. If you make it that far. Please don't forget to check out the links in the description box for the source of the video, right? Video source. Discord if you want to join that, or any of these random charities that you can donate to. All links, description box. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down.